We go from Division 2 to Division 1 here for the Western European DPC League. You are watching Dreamleague. It is Season 18. We're powered by Intel. And our upcoming series is going to be between Entity and OG. We got ourselves a little bit of I feel like this is the flavor of the season, not just the tour. We got, of course, OG coming in hot as a fresh team, Tour 1, major winners. And they are going up against the... I don't know what some people might call like the new OG. Like they're the fresh kids on the block. They're doing really good this tour around because Entity at the moment is 2-0 while OG is 1-1. We're going to focus our attention on OG first. I'm joined by T-Gov, Fogged, and Lacoste. And T-Gov, OG, they lost the series. No longer undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say shaky because they just lose one series, but it's a struggle since the major because, of course, Misha said in an interview that they're trying to align their ideas. They're not on the same page, and that naturally would happen if your captain isn't present at a major. Sure, they win it, but not having your voice in game in the league now after, like, it's a hard one to come over. Yeah. It's a lot of rebuilding to do.
A lot of rebuilding to do.
And especially after the manner that they just lost into, 17-minute GG.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit of a tough one. Can be hard to come back, but, you know, these guys, they have a lot of people behind them, so that's usually where we want to say, like, they should be able to come back into it very, very easily, but they're into a very tough opponent. Entity is, I don't want to say, like, even I had them as, like, my dark horse, but they're kind of the best team that I've been watching recently of the patch. I think they're super exciting. I think they have a really good view on the game right now, so...
individually skilled, everyone is really top tier. If we look at the older players like Stormstormer, he's been grinding. They like have Kateomi, who's Kateomi? You know, maybe you haven't heard of him. Like his performance on Marcy was almost perfect, I would say. Like his Doom performance as well. Just being able to understand like when he can play aggressive, when he needs to play defensive with the hero, knows the limits of the hero as well. His positioning is really, really good in the team fights. And Pure, he broke some records on the Terrorblade performance. He's doing extremely good. Like has wide hero pool and they can pick him whatever and he's gonna play it.
Yeah, and we obviously can talk about Entity for quite a while because we watched them play some top-tier Dota. But if you want to know more about Entity, it's maybe even better to listen to what Stormstormer has to say right now.
Hi everybody, I'm Stormstormer and I'm the mid laner for Team Entity.
A little floaty skull boy. Pure on the back lines, fighting tough with a spin coming out over, but then we also have a black hole and Boom's just slicing through people. Thrasio will help out on top. And now Stormstormer, they do need to have some sort of a lockdown. They don't really have it as they do finally manage to take down Ace, but Pure, he's gonna pay for this, it seems, or is he? Because those bounces are not looking like the luckiest. Everybody's caught these cogs off the side.
From the last season, the main roster for us did not change. Only one of our players basically changed to another team, which is Crystallis. He left after Team Secret. And our replacement for Crystallis is our new player, Pure, who is 18 years old, extremely talented, and definitely a great addition to this team. And he's been consistently top 10 for the last, I don't know how many months. So that alone already shows to us that he's a good pickup. In the last season, we have proven that by winning every single first game in the DPC, except the last one on OG, we always showed that we had like a super good edge in the first couple of the series. Like every single game of that was almost a stomp, I think. The last time we went to bootcamp, we completely crushed it. It was a lower division, admittedly, but it's still like we have been on to bootcamp here for now only 6 days, and we can already feel massively the impact on it. So people should be careful when meeting us in comparison to last season. Last season we already beat everybody at least one time. This time second game is gonna be easy.
Yeah, it seems like Bootcamp is turning Entity into a little bit of a different beast. They have been on fire. I mean, Fog, you've been casting a lot of the games as well. You've just been, every time you come after cast, it's like, these Entity guys, they're good. They might just win the whole tour.
Yeah, I am really impressed. You know, Lacoste was highlighting for Katomi, but even before this season, for me, he was already kind of standing out. His Skywrath, he was doing like the Blink Dominator plays and stuff like that before other people were. I think they're just a really innovative team. Yeah. I think like you already have a big element where you have like most teams, it's like Stormstormer's there and it's like, shit, we need to ban Invoker, you know, and it just gives you extra ways to be able to open up your draft a lot of times and enable your players. So I think it's always just a really interesting team to look at. And You know, we didn't get to touch on some of the other players, of course, but Toby, he's been like a really consistent player with wide hero pool. Yeah, they're just really fun to watch.
We saw Toby the other day, right? He was popping off on his Veno.
Yeah, I keep saying I think Toby to me is my standout player in this team. I know a lot of people want to mention others, but he's in that consistent factor where you mentioned Draft Fogged. He's always a nuisance, a thorn in their side, some Enigma, some maybe Venomox down the line. He's also like 33 that he wants to play Visage, Beastmaster, Lycans if it's ready, and that's still very in meta. The patch didn't change that, so I think this team, they just have 5 players where you have to respect their hero pool, and you can't just get through the draft going, oh, don't worry, they just got their Beastmaster this time. Like, no, you actually need to think of strats for every single player, and that is really hard to do. So it's commendable that they got to this stage for sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Not surprised that they decided to ban out Marcy.
agreed.
Quick nugget of information here. So last week, we had the interview with Misha saying that they're a bit disconnected in what they wanted to do as a team. Of course, they won the major with Seb playing Windrunner. Misha's banged out 14 or so games of Windrunner since that last series. So very much he's like, all right, we know what happened at the major, so now he's playing some Windrunner. So don't be surprised if we are going to see some support Windrunner potentially return, at least at some point in this
Can
series.
you not play more like Seb, please?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, ouch.
Will we get Rubik also played? Because they're still very fond of it. Although, I don't know. I feel like Enigma isn't even being played for the Black Hole. I feel like it's just the Eidolons in laning phase that just dominate most of them. So I don't know if they will go down that route. They go for a safer one.
So this is potentially their safe lane and also off lane. Like these two heroes having Clockwork as like this can also be mid Clockwork. There's a lot of stuff that they can do with these two heroes because they're very versatile. But if they pair them up together at any lane, you have long lane to work with, and it's like a guaranteed static link. A lot of kill potential. Just works out really, really well. Amar tried to experiment a little bit with his hero when they played Enigma. He was playing Void Spirit as a position 4/5, whatever you want to call that, and just didn't work out. So now they're going with their bread and butter.
I think we've seen at least in the last week or so that Enigma, it was very strong at the major, but teams understand how to beat it now. It's just you pressure it a little bit in lane and you just try and take over the map before the Enigma can slowly farm up that blink, the BKB, and make it that, oh, we can never take a team fight, we're going to get Black Hole. So
That was epic.
you see Entity, they realize that and they pick a Terrorblade. It's one of the best carries at just stalling out the games, right? Like, as long as your support gets you through laning phase, you're normally 9 times out of 10 going to be skipping 2 waves, at least adding 10 minutes to any kind of game.
Yeah,
for your hero alone.
And he's always going to be good versus Razor as game progresses. Even in lane, he can be good because you can just distance. And versus Clockwork, okay, you get stuck in your cogs, conjure image, you can stand up and actually tank right through it. So a really good pick, and Pure, of course, as we mentioned, you know, broke records last time on it when he was given the space.
I think OG might be preparing for Void Spirit pick, banning out this Puck. Puck seems really good right now, and not having like Razor Clockwork. Having Razor Clockwork, just don't have enough lockdown for Puck. Puck has been on the rise lately because BKBs are extended by 15 seconds, and he's just that like feel-good hero that you don't have enough tools to deal with him. Like there's just not enough silences or anything. The reason why I like Void Spirit is because they have this Terrorblade Enigma that you can always like jump in and have enough magical damage, especially with the Witchblade build-up. It just feels really good.
Yeah, always can feel good versus Clock as well. Unless it's a mid-Clockwork that gets an Orchid at 12 minutes.
Oh yeah, that is a problem.
It's a bit of a tempo, yeah. No, absolutely, I like it a lot. So looking at the bans, I mean, Entity, they're kind of put in a position where they want to ban the Invoker since they have the TB. Invoker can do really well versus it. It's BZM on the other side, who is one of the most popular ones.
Cool, okay. Good hoodwink.
Cool. Okay.
This is another hero that also Misha's been trying to play as well. So a little bit of flexibility there. You don't really know where the heroes are going on OG to some degree, but they are at least ensuring that no matter what laning step they have, there's going to be an aggressive lane against Terrorblade, be it Hood +1, be it Clock Razor. This Terrorblade will have at least some threat where he's not going to cleanly farm up and then go jungle.
I haven't really seen it too much, but Hoodwink versus Eidolons can be pretty cool in lane too. I mean, the Acorn shot is, you usually don't level it too much, but it is physical damage, so it can be that extra component.
I've seen Hoodwink
kill the Eidolons.
getting 2-2-0 in the lane, just putting that extra point and Acorn shot when it's needed.
It can be a difference maker. But it's high magical burst that can do really well versus TB. And your scouting. Now they have multiple forms of scouting as well too, right? Hoodwink and trees, rocket flare to scout out as well.
Visage is still available, right?
I thought they were actually going to win
like that for Entity because the last time Stormstormer played it, it looked really good. And I feel like these supports that, like, sure, Hoodwink can defend himself against the Eidolons, but Eidolons, birds. Like you can find them in the backline. There's gonna be like just having damage amplification from the Vlads, because like either Enigma or Visage is gonna get it, and then you get the double benefit from it. But yeah, I've seen Visage just completely dominating the supports.
I like it also because if like TBE gets linked, his illusions will still do damage. If Visage gets linked, his familiars, his Grave Chill, they're going to do the majority of the damage too. So it can give you that damage element. So they get Monkey, Scouting Hero.
I mean, they pretty much just need heroes that can soak up some of this early fight, force the Clock of the Hoodwink to, oh, we've got to use spells on this already aggressive Monkey King, and it opens up the Enigma to then hit the hole.
Yeah.
Like, if there isn't a hookshot cancel for Black Hole, nothing's stopping Enigma from having a good time. Okay, they go for
Fishman Bane, the classic.
That
Got to
is the
secure that
classic.
Terrorblade lane. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
I think it was a TI qualifier like 4 or 5 years ago that we watched Fishman and his Bane, and they didn't qualify. But I remember, I think you were both. Fogged and Lacoste were both in our living room then, and he was just popping off on his
so.
Bane, and then they didn't qualify, but we all remembered the name Fishman.
You say Fishman, it's like Bane Clockwork.
Bane
Yeah,
Clockwork.
yeah.
And Lich. He
Like,
likes, he
oh,
loves
yeah,
his Lich
he
too.
loves
Lich.
But the cool thing about Bane is it's an item, it's a hero that's item irrelevant. You actually don't, I mean, sure, you want like a blink, you want all these items, but in lane, he actually could start like 9 tangos, 2 salves, something stupid, and just feed your Terrorblade all this regen. It can be an option. I mean, he won't have EC on it, but you know what I'm saying, like along those lines.
Oh yeah.
That's
Take
Zeus
one,
coming
that's
out. That's a nice
huge.
one.
It's
The
very
old
good. Zeus
Terrorblade
pick.
counter to the start of time. Like,
Yeah.
Yo.
Terrorblade
Sure.
was to stand still.
You have Monkey King as your position 4, but there's no real follow-up. We're talking about TB getting to like 3 item timings into Blink Dagger to be able to close the gap on Zeus, because I think he's going to be needing it this game a bit earlier, or the last hero for Entity needs to be able to jump to Zeus. Yeah.
Just the early damage from OG is going to come clear, because outside of lanes, Entity's ability to defend like towers or even take these fights, it's not really there, right? Bane, Monkey King support duo, they're not really opening up fights for you. They're locking heroes down. Terrorblade, if he has meta, sure, he can poke, but not the biggest damage. So I am a little bit afraid for Entity that the first 20 minutes of this game will be kind of push out lanes, play on the wave skip, and then when you have a couple items, sure, they'll happily run head on, but it does give OG a window to be very aggressive.
Yeah.
Heavy magical damage from OG, skill shot based with Clockwork and Hoodwink. You miss those 2 abilities, it becomes a bit difficult, I would say. Also, not too much team fight. Like Zeus has some AoE, but Clockwork, Hoodwink, Razor, it's like very single target oriented.
OG does have last pick in the draft as well, so they're going to be able to flex this Razor to the very end.
Yeah. I like the Visage ban we already mentioned, especially for Zeus, a hero that just gets completely bullied. Familiars will like just shove you out of the lane immediately.
Entity kind of needs a mid hero that can't die to a Clockwork rotation and just pack a big punch in the earlier fight. So like Visage wouldn't really die. Like Queen of Pain's not really a hero anymore, but like that style
I was
hero
thinking something like
that you
Quap
just
as well,
you
yeah.
sit mid, you farm. If someone comes to your tower, some Bane or Monkey King sets you up, you quickly Sonic Wave, you retreat. Like that's the style of mid that I'd really like to see.
It is actually Entity that ban out Sniper.
Yeah. Like, don't forget
Again, they don't have the gap closer. That's the problem. Like they need one hero to get on top of Zeus, and if you had Sniper, who's been on the rise, like you would have a huge issue.
Again, don't forget that Entity OG, most of these players played on Creepwave together.
This is true.
At the start of DPC, right? It was Creepwave, and it was like BZM, Amar, Chu, the coach of OG, Fishman, who's the captain and has held strong the entire time. Every time good teams steal his players, he has to rebuild again. So testament to Fishman keeping that Creepwave energy alive. But yeah, there's a lot of little internal fight going on here.
It's a good PL game. Like they don't have AoE. Also, the last hero Puck is gone, so you can't find the real Phantom Lancer that easy. If they want to run this Razor on the offlane, and most of the time OG does, if they feel like they need the better carry-to-carry matchup, they ban the Void Spirit.
I like the Void Spirit ban. That's the hero that pierced in the back lines. A lot of Stormers heroes are taken out of the pool.
This tour, the only hero that he has played that is not banned out is a Dragon Knight, but that's not a gap closer.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, there's still, I mean, if you're talking about Spirit still in the pool, there's still both Ember and Storm available as well.
I mean, they could still do something like I mean, Tiny's still in the pool, right?
Yeah.
They could still, I guess, look for the Tiny to be that blink initiator to make space. I'm just not really seeing too many options, unless he wants to play also a semi carry and just go like some Lina, some BKB Lina core, right? And then just transition.
Not too bad. Because they have so much control, but I feel like, yeah, they just need one more form of wave clear. Because Monkey can quickly spring on the side, Terrorblade with illusions, Enigma can with Islands. Like, if they have one more aspect of killing creeps, they're going to get to the point where they have the items to fight this very skirmish heavy OG lineup.
Well, they are running out of time. Just 5 seconds left into reserve time, and they will go for that Tiny.
I think there's limited options. Because I've even like immediately looked back and I was like, I actually don't like Lina because you're playing versus Clockwork and Hoodwink. You'll just die
mid lane,
immediately. So I think this was the best solution for them to gap close on the Zeus. Okay. Does give some semi, like, they do have this scaling late game too, right? Like, Tiny can transition. I've seen it a couple times. I know from anyone who was watching Carl the other day, the like quadruple rampage as Tiny did happen from mid lane.
Solid lineup from Entity. This Tiny, I'm gonna say, save the draft. It still might be a bit difficult to get on top of Zeus. Just like one cogs getting behind the RAZER with the BKB and Static Link could be troublesome. Like even pre-BKB, one good bushwhack from Hoodwink could save him. He also does have a built-in. Like, Zeus is very slippery hero right now. It's a 10-second cooldown ability.
Yeah.
Let's bring out the outclass pick.
Do you think I was thinking Morph.
I'm just thinking some hero that can just throw down like some wave clear in lane. You farm up. The 4 heroes of OG will be so strong together that any of these greedier carries will come in. And if you have an Auk style that's going to come out with 3 item advantage to the enemy carry, it is just going to be very hard to kill.
I was just trying to think Yoragi heroes, but I'm even like Morph or Auk. Like,
all the heroes.
Enfeeble's really nice versus both as well too.
Is the PL that you guys mentioned off the table now that Tiny's been picked up?
No, I think it's still viable.
It still could be there. I think they might want a hero that fights with a bit more
I know,
punch.
but I've seen Yoragi play it in the past.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
So he probably thinks it's okay.
It will be
PL,
the
yeah.
PL. All right. So with that PL picked up, PL versus Terrorblade is a traditional counter.
No?
Is that enough to sway people into OG's favor for this draft?
I mean,
They can play aggressively with the heroes that they got, like having Zeus being like having this global presence, Clockwork, Hoodwink, initiating from the trees. Like, they could show up with heroes out of nowhere pretty much, and Amar on the RAZER feels good. I don't think they have what it takes to counter OGs 1 and 2. They might look a little bit squishy, like single target oriented, but if they get like 2-3 item timings on Phantom Lancer, I feel like that there's no real counter to him.
I think my one concern is we've seen these Enigma off lanes where they just crush the safe lane, and a PL Hoodwink lane, it doesn't really invoke confidence that they're going to be slaying these Eidolons and protecting their tower. And that alone might just delay all the timings that you never get to see the true PL versus Terrorblade until much later. Okay. So more emphasis on the 4 before the PL to really
Yeah, I can agree. That's literally the point that I was going to make. I just seen these PL struggle so much. I love Enigma versus PL. Throughout all stages of the game, you actually have an easy time of always finding the real PL. Just lay down a Midnight Pulse, you pretty much immediately know which one that real one is going to be.
I mean, it's good that we have a game again where the 2 carries are these Goliaths that will find all the farm that if we get to this point in the game, it's going to be, 2 big carries, so...
2 big carries. I mean, it sounds like a relatively even game, and everything will depend on how the teams maneuver around the laning stage of the mid game. Like any other Dota game. Let's find out how it's going to play out together with Odie Pixel and Waga.
Thank you, Steve, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 1 of OG versus Entity. I'm here with Waga today for this best of 3. And Waga, what are you looking forward to seeing? I think the thing that stands out the most to me, Entity, of course, getting that Terrorblade through. Something that was never really going to happen again, I feel, later on in the draft. They have to pick it early to get it this game, but they do get it. The question is, overall, have OG responded to the Terrorblade pick nicely, do you reckon?
I think so. I think draft-wise, this game is definitely very open. Either team can take it. I mean, there's some good stuff going on both OG and the side of Entity, and also some comfort heroes. I mean, we got 2 master tier heroes on OG here. The RAZER for Amar, of course, very respected, and Yoragi on the PL, which looked like a really good hero for this game. But Pure's performance on his TB.
Yeah,
earlier.
995 GPM.
Yeah, he put on an absolute slaughterhouse. I mean, he killed 640 creeps in 37 minutes. Like, that's hard to achieve in a pub. That's to make that happen in a DPC Division 1 game. Entity are not here to play around. I'm super stoked, by the way, to be here and casting them because, you know, Stormstormer is my former teammate. We go way back, so I'm gonna try and hold back my bias here, but I'm definitely rooting for my boy.
Oh, we're gonna see some action maybe around the rune spot. See if they're able to get in on this Misha. He's gonna be able to get in and grab it.
Yeah, so 3 runes. Good start for OG.
Some good tips here to boost the morale here to start the game off from OG.
Yeah, he did speedy click there, Misha. Always got to be fast.
Let's have a look at these lanes. And talking about Stormstormer in the mid, they've ended up with having him on the Tiny here against BZM Zeus. Anyone going to be feeling any heat in this lane?
I think Tiny is a pretty good hero against Zeus because he has the ability later on to burst him, but focusing on laning stage, he's one of the few heroes who has high enough damage to potentially deny Zeus. I mean, Zeus has 90 damage with the spell on level 1, so it's really strong. But Tiny actually does have 88 damage as well, you know? So it's really hard.
All right, and in terms of sort of the side lanes, has anything ended up looking difficult for either team in the laning stage?
I am imagining that it should maybe be a slight favor for Entity on the side lanes. As we see, Enigma, of course, will make it so it's hard for PL to really get farmed. Bottom lane, we already see Taiga pulling the creeps because this lane is not so easy to fight into the level 1 meta. So very smart to dodge it by just pulling here. But you see Fishman, he's chasing, doing what a support should do when this happens. You go there and you be annoying. You don't die, but you go there and contest it as much as you can.
He's still got a brain set to play with as well, Fishman.
Yeah, I don't know about this call.
Baiting Tiger into the trade, or maybe Tiger's baiting Fishman into the trade. They've got the plasma ready to go. I'll turn towards Fishman. Can Fishman get the kill? He can't. It's going to be first blood for Amar as Tiger, he baits him in perfectly for that one. It was just a question of who was baiting who, and in the end, it was Tiger setting up for his core Amar to pick up that first blood.
You know, they get the kill and it's a first blood. But at the same time, Razor did give up some CS to leave, and they have to go base still with the clockwork. So, of course, this is favoring OG, but it wasn't a very free kill since Razor had to give up farm under the tower. But yeah, good to get that first blood. He can get now some early boot as well on this lane, which could really help him.
Yeah, I mean, is there going to be a point early on in this lane where they can start to you know, Amar can like run down Pure, put some pressure onto the TB?
They might be able to put a bit of pressure on him, especially now with the double Wraith Band that Razor went for. So instead of the boots, he went for 2 Wraith Bands, giving him a lot of armor. Very smart on this lane. And yeah, top lane we see just a bit of Eidolon micro here. It's hard to go too aggressive with Eidolons because they die really fast to PL right clicks. So you can't get caught out.
Just make a bit of a move now. For Yuragi.
But Hoodwink, meanwhile, is just laying into auto attacks. So crucial that he's just non-stop hitting the Monkey King there.
Nicely able to dodge the damage from the Spirit Lance with the Mischief Cat.
Looking over to mid lane, there was a triple stack now on the small camp for Zeus. So he's preparing to farm a lot there. And potentially stealing that could be a huge move.
Yeah, absolutely. That could definitely be a player for Stormstormer if he's aware that's going on and is going to be cleared sometime by BZM.
Yeah, he didn't specifically see it with the ward, but I think he probably realizes the Zeus was running over there twice now and stacking.
Now CS in the mid. So far between the two has been pretty even here. 90 for 4, 90 for 2 top lane. Entity will be able to catch out Misha. That's in the stage now, the two of them. They got a fair bit of damage between that Eidolon army and the right clicks of Kataomi.
Yeah, now it's going to be hard for PL to come down a little bit. He has to wait for Hoodwink to come back, but during that time, there should be power denying going on, get the creep wave back a bit, and meanwhile, Monkey is zoning. So this top lane is starting to go a little bit in the favor of Radiant. Of course, 11 denies on Enigma, but, you know, it's what we expect to see. The hero is really good at getting denies automatically, and even manually when you get your Eidolons up.
Yeah, you can see straight up on the CS, Yuragi having a much tougher time than Pure is down bottom. We'll get the creep wave pushed in under the tower. Hard to really get on top of Pure. So he's happily able to continue to CS pretty nicely down here, 19 for 8.
Yeah, he's not pressured by this lane. They picked TB right after seeing Clockwork and RAZER, specifically knowing that these two heroes, I'm not too concerned about them. And I think that's true. I think it's a really smart choice to pick it here. Clockwork is horrible against TB.
See top. KRAKEN continuing to try and put pressure onto Uragi and Misha. One lane target, trying with the chase down. Getting a bit close to the tower though, and Pure, so has to be careful. Backing off, and it's actually out of regen, so we'll have to sit back for a little bit.
Yeah, has to just chill now.
And we'll have to be a little cautious on the side lanes now that BZM's about to hit that 6. Thunder God's Wrath will be ready for plays soon as bottom lane
Oh,
Pure,
they might get him.
It's getting pretty low. He's not quite got enough mana in the mid lane for the Thunder God's Wrath. As he's just 10 short. In fact, if he does it when it's up, he might get the kill. There we go.
Okay, so Zeus ulti cleans up the kill afterwards. Meanwhile, we get a kill top lane by Monkey King onto the Hoodwink. But I want to say, Pure turned around and attacked Clockwork a lot there before he ran away. I think he actually was planning to kill the Clockwork there before getting out. And if it wasn't for Zeus ulti as well, he calculated it perfectly.
He did.
He
got
lived
enough hits
and he got a kill.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, Pure is a really impressive player
We'll see it
to
again
watch.
here. Oh, okay, we're going to see the kill we had at the same time. Top Misha getting run down.
Yeah, and now mid lane we might see something here as Zeus tries to check a rune.
Got the setup. But no,
There's that
they
jump.
haven't. Heavenly jump.
It's such a good ability. Like, Zeus used to be this hero that wasn't really picked so much because his one weakness was that he died to any gank on mid lane. And he died very easily in the mid game as well. But now it's just, you need so much to lock him down. And TB, of course, is making the switch into full jungle now. You don't want to stay on lane for too long. Once you're level 4, level 5, you already should be starting to look towards jungling as TB because you farm faster than on the lane.
Now, as OG, can you, like, what do you look to do with the fact that TB's left the lane? Can they pressure the tower much with their heroes? Are they going to look to try and get into the jungle and pressure this TB? I mean, what's the game plan for OG for making sure that Pure doesn't hit the levels of farm that he did in the previous series when we saw him play Terrorblade?
I think the key concept here should be that I think Amar should start pushing his lane and just trying to get push and pull, farm the big camp as well, like get the most he can. It's blocked right now by Fishman, so he knows exactly what's going to happen as well, so he's counteracting this. But I think you need to get Zeus involved. Because Clockwork cannot kill TB on his own, but if you get Zeus to make a rotation there, if he gets a good rune, that could be a way to shut down the TB. But yeah, meanwhile, we just see Fishman trying to get experience down here.
Katomi still trying to be annoying here, messing around with the pulls. And Uragi, he's getting the CS, but of course the difference there, about a level between him and Pure on the other side of the map, just down to obviously how much Toby is denying from the lane. They'll look to make a move onto Toby here. With the bushwhack. Turn with the Maleficent over towards Misha. Thunder God's Wrath should set up for them to bring down the Enigma. Toby will fall. Toby is able to get a kill and return. And in fact, on the other side of the map, down bottom, we'll see Stormstormer come in and be able to take down Amar.
Yeah, they were diving to get the kill on the Bane, and then meanwhile, Stormstormer makes that TP rotation down there and gets the return kill, so they did get Fishman, but not really worth it as you lose your Razor for it. Stormstormer going to be very happy getting this kill. Getting to blink on Tiny is crucial for Entity here, so they can play around him. Meanwhile, the Zeus seems like he's just going to go for Akaya, get some damage amplification. You don't really need to rush a super early Aghanims. I think Kaya into Aghanims is a possibility for him here. You still want to have it just for any pick-off potential with Clockwork.
And if Stormstormer is able to get a good timing on the blink, it's quite a tasty game early on, right? There's a lot of very blinkable targets on OG.
Oh yeah, Hoodwink dies very easily. I mean, Zeus is very good to jump, and if you get it early enough, even Peel can be low HP for a while, because he's going for a Diffusal build right now. He has Power Treads and a Blade of Alacrity coming out, but he's not going to be very tanky by the time the blink is coming up on Tiny.
We'll see Entity assume the positions. Pure's going to take over to the triangle. Fishman continuing to keep a hold on bottom. Matching the sort of control that OG set up. I mean, 5 to 4, less than 1k in it between them.
Yeah, very even start. Again, they're trying on Fishman bottom.
And once again, they should be able to grab him.
Yeah.
Only so much you can do with a brain stab.
Didn't have to go as deep this time, so not gonna get punished as well. And just a clean pick off.
Oh, starting a little bit of the tips there. Of course, all friendly ones here.
Yeah. A Fishman is, you know, he knew the risks the moment he went to bottom. He's just there to soak the experience.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See in the mid out. Yeah, Toby top lane is going to be starting working on that blink himself after the urn. Stormer very close to having his own.
Radiant are scanning.
And BZM on the other side, he's pretty much got that Kaya done, so he'll have a fair bit of damage to throw out in any fights that he can find the positioning for.
OG are creating a lot of stacks jungle. They are prepping more, but we see a move here by Entity.
They're going to step in. I've got the Avalanche, Boundless into the toss. He'll be able to get the Doppelganger off in time, but he's so low, he'll try and run. The tree's going to follow him up, though. If they take him down. Good move from Entity to get in the jungle and disrupt Jiragi's farming pattern. Now with the Avalanche, they may even be able to try for more. BZM, he's up in the air, they'll toss him up. Bushwhack won't come over to control the two of them, but it won't save BZM. A double kill for Fishman as he strikes back after dying a few times down bottom, heads over with the cores, and he's ready to take the kills himself.
Yeah, and he also reached the tome that puts him almost all the way to level 7 immediately because of these kills he got there.
Oh, they're going to get another Tiger. He just walked, also Misha, in fact, Misha walked straight back into there. So he just offers up another one, and indeed, they'll throw the tips out for that. I mean, they got 2 kills there. I don't think they were expecting a third, but Misha sort of hands it to them.
Yeah, they throw the tips as they should, I think. He must have known that they were there. He has a ward on the low ground, so he knew that they didn't walk down. I'm very surprised they just walked in there, but he gets punished quickly.
I mean, and look how quick they're looking to play now. Now with the Blink Dagger done, Entity, they're smoking up with the 3 of them.
This is the speed that, you know, that separates a lot of Div 1 and Div 2 teams. It's just the speed. Immediately going from play to play.
Scan does hit. They know what sort of angle Entity's looking to make a move from.
Yeah, but it seems like OG are willing to defend this. They know that there's something afoot because they haven't really seen anyone for a while. Outside, of course, the TB and Enigma.
Smoke comes from 2 now. They won't be able to get anything with that initial move. See if they're able to still continue to hide the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, both carries farming 1 triangle each. Pretty happy carries overall, I would say. Diffusal is not complete for the heal. And meanwhile, on the side of Terrorblade, he's going for a Yasha.
Oh, Tiger. He's in with a hook shot. He's been able to catch Katsumi hovering around the river. Fishman, is there anything he can do to help? There isn't. Gonna be a dead Monkey King quick moves there from Tiger. As soon as he sees him, he's in.
Yeah, very high magic burst between them. If the hook shot lands, they can follow up with a hoodwink. So, and then of course Zeus laying in whatever he wants into it. It's plenty of damage.
And yeah, it's been a good recovery really from Yuragi. He, as we saw in the laning stage, had a much tougher time top in comparison to Pure down bottom, but only about 400 gold between the 2 of them. So yeah, Yuragi is going to be happy with how he's caught up. The Diffusal Blade's done. I mean, do you expect we'll see him start to get involved now at this stage, or is it still too risky for the PL? He's got to keep hitting the creeps.
I think he'll try and hit the creeps. It's more that now, if he gets ganked and doesn't get bursted immediately, he can actually be competent enough to fight. He can provide something in a fight. And it's still a decent farming item, actually, against creeps that have mana, which is, you know, like almost every creep.
Oh, here we go again. You know, it's this same spot as well. Entity, they've found this perfect angle to enter in. We'll see Tiger try and do something about it. He's in with a hook shot over towards Stormstormer. The Cogs does mean that Amar can't quite get around to help continue to chase. And with the jump forward from Katomi, Entity, they'll be able to turn and cause issues. For Tiger's been tossed up to the high ground. They'll take down Tiger. They will lose Fishman. But they get themselves 2 kills. They get the cores out there. Stormstormer's able to survive. And once again, yeah, this spot of the map proving to be quite a dangerous point for OG to be in.
Yeah, I would say so. This is, I mean, usually the area that you concede and don't really fight it is your safe lane area after you lose the tower there. It's hard to go there, but OG, very confrontational. They're going to go here and try to catch the monkey as well, but he gets away in time. Also, we have Blink Dagger coming out for the Enigma now, and he has Black Hole.
All right, he's ready to go. See if they want to look for another smoke move.
But meanwhile, PL is finding a great amount of space. So the fact that they're fighting top is, you know, leaving the PL all this room to farm. So maybe that's the mindset. We just want to make sure that there's more farm for my PL. Whereas otherwise TB might have farmed this space that we're fighting in, right? TB might have gone up there and taken that area, but he's now down bottom.
See OG ready to go with the smoke around mid. Tiger, he's ready to charge straight in. Goes for Fishman. Nightmare's going to be there, though. See a Hoodwink ult coming. Will connect with Pure, but Pure doesn't care. Stands his ground with the Metamorphosis, turns and takes down Tiger. OG not quite as successful with their efforts to invade Entity's jungle.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part. When the carry is just casually farming in the vicinity, then he can start laying in. The same would have happened if PL was around and, you know, Entity are the ones to gank, then the diffusal PL would also be very powerful. The carries are strong right now if they don't get gone on. If they get focused, then they're pretty much nothing.
Yeah, good positioning from Fishman. Finding himself to be the one that catches that initiation from Tiger. Makes things a bit complicated for OG.
Yeah, Fishman, he knows his way around Bane. It's like his most played hero, pretty much. He loves playing.
Talking about the man, he's got the Nightmare set up. Do they want to do anything with this? They don't have Fiend's Grip. And indeed, they're a little hesitant. They don't have the vision anymore inside OG's jungle, so they don't want to go on this.
Get tipped for his efforts. Tiger going in and trying to plant some wards, D-wards, going deep here.
That's the man to done on Pure. So now has that ability to really protect himself and turn things around. You know, this is no longer really a target that Tiger's ever going to be feeling good about going upon.
Yeah.
All these illusions he'll have.
He can also just use it more aggressively to farm as well whenever he feels pretty safe. So yeah, it's a fantastic item. Pretty much always your first item on TB is going to be this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Game is very methodical so far, I would say. Neither team is really breaking the script so much in their playstyle. They're doing sort of what we expect. But OG perhaps are the ones who might do it now as they make a move top.
We'll catch Misha in the slow. But a quick turn. And he'll try with the ults. Hookshot won't catch onto Gatomi. We'll see Pure. He's going to get caught by the ultimate there from Hoodwink instead. He's able to step out to the side. Wukong's has been laid down. But Mar, he'll fight through it. Stay on top of Gatomi with the Thunder God's Wrath. They bring down the Monkey King. Pure will get himself away, but does end up falling rather low after that one.
Yeah, gonna sunder your pause 5 there. Get some HP back. Bane is happy to provide. Of course, he can get his life back by Brain Set.
I mean, they're strong now, OG, and they want to show that. Smoke up. They've got the BKB just picked up on Amar. He's ready to fight.
Yeah, I think they want to transition into getting something out of this. They might actually find Terrorblade if they put a ward down here. Oh, they don't have one. They're expecting he might go top, but look at Pure, man. His map awareness.
And look at bottom.
Yeah. Inside
the jungle. Yuragi felt that he had the space to farm this area. Entity showed that he certainly did not. Fishman gets him with the grip.
So they managed to get a clean catch on the enemy carry, and meanwhile Pure just ran back. Didn't see anyone move in, really. Just took it easy. And now he's back to farming. Now it seems safe again. Really good map awareness, just reading where they should be.
With deaths like that, we'll start to see the disparity grow between the carries. Pure already over 1,000 ahead of Yuragi. And
then again, BZM is also 1,000 ahead of the Tiny, so BZM is getting really farmed in this game. He went with upgraded Kaya and Sanj, getting a lot of HP, of course, as well as the Spell Amp, and now going into the Aghanim. So I think the Zeus can lay in a lot of damage, and it's one of the worst nightmares for Terrorblade, is a heavy damage dealer like Zeus.
Yeah, absolutely. And between that sort of tankiness that Sanj element will provide him and the Heavenly Jump, he's a hard hero to kill. Top Katomi is out and away. Nothing that Amar can do on his own to stop that TP. Things are settling down again between the two teams here, OG and Entity. 12 to 8.
I think
a tiny amount of difference in the gold.
The big sleeper thing in this game is that if this game goes passive and just continues, it's not about which carry is stronger. It's about the fact that one team has RAZER, which admittedly gets strong. The other team has Enigma, which is, you know, a late game menace. If he gets his Blink BKB combination with a refresher, it can just end games. So I think right now, I don't think Toby has been forced to use a single black hole, right?
He hasn't.
So far.
Not so far this game.
It's level 2.
No. I mean, yeah, by the time he probably has to use the first one, he'll have the BKB. It's just a recipe away. He's closing in on it. Very close to one another here. Who's going to get the jump, though? It is going to be Entity. They're able to find the Zeus. They're straight in. They find BZM pushing the lane out. And Tiger is going to be off the mark with a hook shot. They've got the Nightmare, the grip. Perfect setup here from Fishman. CMR tries to fight, but there's the jump. It's a beautiful one in from Toby. In with the 3-man black hole. Avalanche to follow it up. OG in shambles.
Wow, that was beautiful, actually. That was really beautiful. I mean, Fishman with a fast catch on the two of them there. Not a second of hesitation. Nightmare one gripped the other, and then the combination comes through. I mean, that was picture perfect.
The way that they started things off there as well, getting over towards BZM, he felt safe because he had two heroes ready to support him, but they were able to get past these two.
Yeah.
And then that beautiful turn from Fishman, and Mars like, all right, we can try and fight, but bam, Toby's in with the black hole, and it couldn't get any better than that.
And the Ava toss afterwards on the two heroes, it's just a beautiful combination. You can see why this draft is very powerful at team fighting. Stormer. That's my boy right there.
We got an apple a day.
I guess gotta finish your snack. He also got a little snack in his bottle. He got a haste rune for Tiny now as well, so he's ready to gank even more.
That was a rough fight there for OG. I'm definitely going to feel shaken up a bit after that.
Yeah. Some lags.
16-8. 3K lead now off the back of that, and of course, whilst that was happening, Pure sticking at the top.
It's an online video game with 3 people. You can't just pause it.
Getting a bit of a re-log in from actually most of the team. A lot of Entity dropping out there. Hopefully it's all good.
Yeah, and item progression-wise, I mean, we got Amar with the Blacking Bar and the Sun. She's starting to tank up a little bit. He almost has 3,000 HP on the Razor. Thing is, though, that, you know, Terrorblade hits so hard, he might not even care how much HP you have if you don't have proper armor as well or evasion. And Enigma has Midnight Pulse, which also benefits from you having a lot of HP.
So what would you imagine the next move is going to be for OG? Will we see them try and get over here with the three of them? I mean, they still want to fight around Amar, right? With the BKB timing, he should be strong. And especially now in this bit of a window where there's no black hole.
I think they need to get fights going where Zeus doesn't get jumped. That's the key thing. He needs to be able to lay in damage continuously throughout the fight. So you need to initiate a fight somehow without giving away Zeus's positioning. He was shoving creep wave, that's why he got jumped. I think they need to like shove lanes together really close to each other, which is perhaps what they were trying to do. I mean, he had his friends sort of close.
He did. I think, yeah, exactly. BZM felt that he was safe, and understandably to a point. It was just the way that Entity managed to sort of weave past
an assassination,
the two of them and get on top of him. It just caught him off guard, caught OG off guard.
Yeah, definitely. And couldn't really ask for much better of a catch. And seems like they're ready on the sides of both teams. So we're heading into the game.
Let's see what they want to do here. As I said, with a bit of timing where I don't have the threat of the black hole.
Yeah.
Of course, Stormer still looking very good on his time. He's going to have the BKB very shortly, especially if he wants to disassemble the Echo Saber. But with the speed that he's getting the farm, he might not even feel pressured to do so. 4-0-6. Level 18 here, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, he caught up and farmed quite a bit. I mean, hasn't died like you said, and just that last gank definitely helped.
Now here we go again. You know, OG, they really want to try and fight here with Mar.
They
don't have Zeus that nearby though, so it's only Zeus ulti.
They've hit the scan, but it's only onto illusions.
Yeah, and scan is positive when there's illusions, so always difficult against illusion heroes to properly find the enemy carry. Who, by the way, is closing in on a Skadi. Pure is starting to look very farmed right now, almost. Yeah, he's 1,500 ahead of the PL now. Starting to extend that lead. Doesn't look like we're gonna have one of those record-breaking farm games, but he's still having a clean game, only having died the once.
And you like to sort of change it from Storm, so he had the BKB queued up, but once he picked up the money, he's gonna go the route of the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, I think he had the BKB queued up, but it's you adapt as the game is, right? And after winning that fight so handedly bottom, going for a Shadow Blade to try and extend your lead is the mentality. He wants to try to find more pickoffs like he's doing right now, sneaking out, expecting that someone is going to come down here and farm. There are a lot of squishy heroes they could do a ton of damage to. It just allows for even more split pushing too, but It's a risk. It's a risky play to skip the BKB. Because if Roshan somehow gets on the menu, then you're not ready with the BKB. It could be dangerous.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I like it though. In general, since they nerfed BKB, I want to stay away from the item as much as possible, unless necessary to purchase it next. The 15 seconds cooldown, it does have a big impact. It's noticeable.
We're going to smoke time.
Yeah.
From Entity.
And they have BKB blink on their Enigma as well.
Yeah, they got Black Hole back up. So a KRAKEN one last time from Toby. He's able to do it again. They're going to settle for going for the Roche off the back of the smoke.
Yeah, they kill it fairly fast, but it's scouted immediately with the rockets.
They want to commit to try and speed this up. They're going to try.
I think they have to stop going in with everyone. Just fight instead.
Yeah, they're going to leave Pure to try and do it whilst the rest of the team hold control outside of the pit. So then we get the jump. Oh, look at this from Kataomi. He's going to look to try and hold them off to the side. He will get focused. Thundergod's Wrath comes in, but he's still living for quite some time here. Gives him enough damage to take down Misha. Misha has to buy back.
BKB used on Enigma though, so he doesn't have BKB Black Hole anymore.
Yeah, looks like he did get pressured by Tiger being able to wrap around and get on top of him. So Toby had to use the BKB to survive.
Yeah, Tiger with that shard, by the way, the jetpack flying around a bit on Clockwork. Definitely a bit of a nuisance item. It's cool to see they went for that, because he doesn't really have any item yet. He just went straight to a shard.
Oh, Stormstormer will catch him. Another kill from level 20 now on the Tiny.
Yeah, that's big. Gets the 40% grow bonus damage with the tree. Hits really hard now. This is a right-clicker build on Tiny, and I love that he's going for it, because that will help fighting the PL and all the illusions. Also, he can kill Zeus super fast. Very low armor here. And a DD rune.
Oh, he's ready to go.
Oh, boy.
He is ready to go.
I like OG's positioning, though. They are realizing Roche is low. We have to stay here. We have to stay vigilant. They're not going to give this away for free. I almost wish that they could have done something more right now, because BKB was on cooldown for Enigma and no meta on TB. Like, it's a good power spike to take fights right now. But doesn't seem like they're brave enough to go up on the enemy triangle.
Yeah, they're still being very, very careful here, OG. It's understandable with how farm Pure is. They've got to be very careful about their approach. And they have the halberd done on Amar. And I think that is the Aghanims.
It's coming out.
Yeah,
yep.
BZM's going to have that good for the next fight. That's a lot of extra damage to throw. And in fact, OG, they're going to poke back into the Roshan themselves.
It is low.
Which is a bit risky.
It's hard to do as PL because it keeps slamming all the time when you make extra illusions. If you have 2 illusions, Roshan will slam.
And Pure's ready to just walk straight in. Oh, see on the back, like Tiger. He tried to get over to the side. And Grip's going to come out and will get cancelled. They've taken out Uragi. He's out of fight. He's going to buy back Toby. He's in with the black hole, locking down BZM. Pure in on top of him, aggressively uses the stun to help bring down BZM. It's 3 dead on OG. Amar pops the BKB, runs towards the back lines. They've got to come in and save him. He has been able to take down 2 of them. Amar doing his best to get this fight back into the hands of OG. They'll chase towards Kataomi, but he's away in the trees. OG did have to use the buyback from Uragi to get this fight back in their favor, but Amar standing strong, making sure that they come out on top, and now they'll look to step back into the pit.
Yeah, they want this Roche, but everyone is here. They still want contest.
And there's the final strike to set him on a mission, but they're on top of it. It's a nightmare. It's going to give him a chance to get off the Manta. He's trying to walk away, but Uragi stays on top. They bring down Pure. They get the big kill. They're ready for more. Uragi jumps over towards Fishman. Exactly what OG needed there. Huge kill, taking out the TB. And into the pit they go. They'll get this Roshan and Aegis for themselves. OG's back in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely massive. They needed this. Very good play by Uragi to use his buyback there after he died. A lot of resources were committed to him going down.
And this was aggressive from Pure, and he gets completely controlled.
Yeah, he didn't have Sunder, so even if you Nightmare save him, there's no stopping these PL illusions when the black hole is down and your Tiny is not there. The PL illusions reign supreme. So yeah, there's a smile on Amar.
Feeling happy. He's hitting his stride now on the Razor.
Yeah, he was owning that fight.
Yeah, he just went straight in and it worked out perfect.
Yeah, because Stormstormer jumped in, killed off the PL, and then Amar just had a free chance to go in and fight. And he was running people down. This is a very competitive game right now. So they got the Aegis.
This is what we want to see.
Got the Aegis, but they're still 2,000 gold behind. We're going to see if OG can level out the net worth lead here during their Aegis time.
For sure. But a bit of that difference coming into play with the money that Uragi probably had to spend on the buyback. But definitely worked out to be a very, very beneficial buyback. Gets them those 2 kills afterwards, one of them being the big one against Pure, and of course leaves them that opportunity to get Aegis himself. So a well thought out buyback that works out fantastic for them in the extended long run.
Yeah. I'm looking over to the Bane, by the way. Bane has quite a bit of gold. He has Etherlands and he has 1964 gold.
So what's Fishman thinking about? I mean, he
has to be a 4-staff.
Yeah.
Has to be. Against a Razer and a Clockwork, I don't think there's anything else that you want.
Yeah, he's got the hat.
Yeah. I mean, hats are always fine, right? You can have a fluffy hat without upgrading, but in this game, I think you definitely should. It's just too good to pass up on. But that will be a big component, because then getting out of the Link, I think, is almost bigger than getting out of Cogs right now. Just not letting MR get a big damage steal.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about MR, you know, people having money. He's got 3k gold. And he's going to be ready to start, you know, continue to build up his armor, whether it be the Shivas or the AC that he wants to go for first.
You know, this halberd on Razer in this game is always a little bit of an awkward feeling buying against TB. Because you can't really halberd TB effectively. His illusions are still hitting, right? So it feels low value, but at the same time, it can be decent. It's very awkward to buy it, but I think he needed it. And once he has plate mill along with it, he's going to be very, very tanky.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, between the armor and the evasion. And then after that last fight, what we also, you know, you see from Pure's build, he is indeed going for the BKB. He's nearly got it, so 600 gold away. But as we're seeing in the last few fights, completely understandable. He needs that BKB to be able to fight, especially with how farmed BZM is and how much damage BZM is able to throw him from the side.
Yeah, it's not just him as well. The Hoodwink also does quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, having BKB is just going to be some pure, you know, like pure serenity in the team fight. You press BKB and then nothing can really touch you if you're TB, because you have so much armor. So for a little while, you're basically unkillable.
Tower taken in the mid here by Uragi. He will be going for that heart next.
Yeah.
Making sure that he has that potential to live through the burst combo that entities do have quite a bit of, especially if Storm was able to get him with the jump.
I like the movement here by OG. They're going in very aggressive, invasive, taking over the enemy jungle. And look at Clockwork scouting.
Tiger's ready to go.
Yeah, he's
jetpacking in, scouting out the situation.
It's very low cooldown. It's such a good ability, honestly. Clockwork jetpack. Only 10 seconds cooldown after the duration's over.
Yeah, makes it very hard to catch. And allows you to get away with some of those crazy hook shots that you want to be doing as well.
It also looks funny because you're like flying around, and then you hook shot out of the jetpack animation, just fly down.
Players here.
Meanwhile, Entity are playing together on the triangle. They want to be pretty safe going together right now. Black Hole is 37 seconds on cooldown, so still just want to chill.
Yeah, and once it's up, do you think we'll see them try and fight into the Aegis on Uragi? Does that bother them too much that Uragi's got that for the next fight?
I wouldn't put it past them to actually be aggressive, and I would probably prefer to see them be aggressive rather than just wait out the entire Aegis. Because Black Hole is a very big ability right now. With BKB, the only thing they have to stop it is the Clockwork hooking. But that can be difficult to do, especially with, you know, Eidolons around or other heroes around. Angle. It's not always easy to stop it.
Splitting up the map for now. As I say, Pure with the BKB, it's now going to feel a lot less under threat.
Oh yeah, his courier is dead with his items on Fishman, huh?
I was going to say, where's his gold gone?
Yeah, he bought on courier. Feels bad. Always sad when a POS 5 loses their courier, because they need to send out wards all the time. I almost feel like POS 5s are the ones who need their courier the most often in the current patch, because you need like new sentries, new stuff. You always TP react when something happens. Like, you don't even think about it pretty much.
We go next time for Amar done. We saw already how he was just able to charge into pretty much the whole team of Entity and not care at all. Now he's got that Shiva's Guard. That's especially going to be true. He's going to be tough for them to really focus down. He's just going to run at them
Yeah, and I think it's a very smart itemization. I love Shivas on RAZER. I think it's very strong in itself. But against TB in particular, it's so amazing. Just lowering the attack speed of all those illusions. It's really huge.
Oh, he's massive, this game, up. Still, of course, at the top is Pure, but you see right behind him, all three of OG's cores equally as farmed as each other.
Yeah, they're sharing the farm OpenAI style. Of course, OpenAI would have the 2 supports up there as well.
It's the hard done for Uragi.
Are scanning.
OG's cores starting to gear up really nice. And a lot harder for some of sort of the aggression that Entity have to get the job done. You know, Stormer, his burst combo is absolutely going to be survived by quite a few of the heroes now on OG.
Yeah, he alone cannot really pose that much of a threat anymore. Bottom tower is going to go down to the Aegis push. Nobody wants to contest it, and they didn't even stick around with the PL here.
Yeah, Uragi's just chilling on his own.
Yeah, he knows he can fake that he has backup. Meanwhile, his team is smoking over. This smoke is hard to sense.
Yeah, they'll look to scout things out with the Thunder God's Wrath, but already Entity making a good read there, knowing that there was likely to be something coming their way.
That was a very good read, because Uragi was so confidently showing bottom. It's easy to believe that he has people around him, but no.
He's got his BKB now, Stormer. So we'll be able to stand his ground after the initial jump.
Yeah.
The trade hits quite nice, and they want to go straight away with the smoke. I mean, the Aegis, it's gone. It's just expired. This is the time to hit.
They do have the triple BKB timing coming up here against the single BKB on the RAZER. So it's going to be difficult for Zeus to deal any real damage when 3 heroes just have this item.
And in these sort of fights as well, you know, for Toby on the Enigma, is who's most important for him to really get in the black hole, do you think? You know, who's he going to be looking for?
I almost want to say that he needs to catch Amar, but that's only if he catches like Amar +1. But stopping Amar from doing his job, I think is really important, because he is the strongest force right now on the Dire. Of course, you always want to kill the enemy carry, goes without saying, like that's usually the dream. But I don't think you should underestimate the importance of Amar. He also has a kill streak right now.
Yep.
Well, it's so nice that this works when you're a spectator, by the way. I can see who has a kill streak all the time.
Well, after a bit of peacefulness, Katomi will be caught here in the jungle of OG.
Extending that kill streak, dominating now. Getting even more. He is having a good game on Amar, for sure. And they're looking for more.
I mean, Misha's seeing if they can get some sort of setup. I'll get the bushwhack. See if there's... see if they maybe be able to poke out a reaction here from Pure. The ult will miss. Pure, he's able to turn Thunder.
He got the real one. What? Nice aim.
And doesn't mean he's not forced to use the BKB or anything. So
oh, he had DD run. All right. Yeah.
Gonna be happy with that. We'll lose his courier though. Let's get left over towards the wave and Pure. We'll lose that to Uragi.
Yeah, this tier 1 tower is looking pretty sold. Doesn't seem Entity want to hold on to it. So OG will take, and OG are bit by bit starting to get a little bit ahead in this game.
They're getting their lead.
Yeah.
Things started to really turn around after that, you know, well-called play around the Roshan pit.
That's true. Super competitive and even game. We're almost having level 25 on Tiny right now. Quite a bit of experience.
Oh, they're going to get him with a hook shot. They've found Fishman, but he has got Pure by his side. Pure going to put the meta and take down Tiger in return. Let's see if they can deal with Pure. He's still got a lot of backup. Katomi by his side. Storm's getting forced away, though. Mar trying to get in aggressively. Thunder God's Wrath's pop. They're staying on top of Storm. He's put the BKB. He's going to have Blink up in a second. He's able to get out in time. Buyback coming out from Fishman. The illusions continue to chase down Storm. Toby blinks away to dodge the Spirit Lance. They've just got to go into full retreat mode here, Entity. They will manage to get themselves away. Katomi still hovering around the area. I did get spotted out by that courier.
Yeah, just jump away. Courier has seen you.
That should be fine. They've got no way to further catch him there.
Yeah, not too much expended in the end for the side of Entity. OG, they did use the Zeus ulti, but he has Octarine, so low cooldown as well. And speaking of Octarine, the PL is very close to a full Octarine of his own. He has the Shard, of course, which is a very popular build. You spam those lances, of course the bouncy lance and extra strong illusions. This is not really a meme item. It's very strong on PL.
They may start to struggle there with, like, you know, especially dealing damage to Pure during his BKB. Now that he's got the butterfly down, he's hit that new sort of power spike. Not a lot that's going to be getting him through that evasion.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to kill him, but they do have... I mean, I think they just need to get the BKB duration down and then lay in the spell damage. And at least the RAZER ulti can't miss. So it's always that. No miss chance on it.
Of course, getting close to the point where Roshan is going to be on the table again.
Yeah, and as it stands right now, it's OG who are more actively controlling the area. OG are the ones kind of leading the dance. So
Kanaomi is trying to clear out the way, but Tiger and BZM were there ready and waiting.
Meanwhile, mid though. Also a pick off by Stormstormer, finding out the hoodwink. 500 gold for him, solo kill.
Ooh. I don't know if he will, but he's got that rapier queued up next, Yuragi. I don't imagine that. Yeah.
No.
That's not coming out.
That's him messing around with his teammates in the voice chat. What's my next item, guys? Rapier? I would love to see a rapier peel, though. That's...
Yeah, talking about damage, Stormstormer will try and get that Silver Edge, of course, completed next.
I think Silver Edge is underrated against RAZER. Just breaking him. He's so fast. Everyone always takes the 21% movement speed talent as well from the Storm Surge. It's kind of crazy how much faster you get.
Roshan time. Last time round ended up being a bit of a sore spot here for Entity.
Yeah, this time, are they going to be more successful?
I mean, they're doing it quickly, of course. The Butterfly and Pure. Amar is trying to scout things out. They're going to get him with a hook shot. They're going to try and start this fight, but straight away, Tiger's in trouble. He'll buy some time with the Ghost Scepter, but they've got the magical to take him out. Roshan will fall. Aegis into the hands of Pure. So Wukong's command is down. BZM's trying his best to poke him from the side. Entity, they're just going to opt for the BKB TP out. They'll lose both supports, but they get all cores out of there, and they got that Roshan. They got that Aegis. And I believe Shard Pro was either picked up by Stormstormer or... okay, it was Pure. Pure's able to get the Shard for himself as well. So Entity, they got away with it.
Yeah, they got everything. On the other hand, though, using these BKBs, they even used the Enigma BKB, so every single one was used, and they didn't get anything in. Look at OG now. They know that BKBs are down. They're playing aggressive into the Aegis.
They're running straight at Pure. Great hookshot from Tiger. He's in. They're on top of him. That's going to be Pure going down. Also maybe the Manta. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's the Aegis quickly taken out of his hands. And outside of the base, Stormstormer will be able to get the jump in onto Misha, take him out in return. But a good opening that OG is able to abuse there, spotting the opportunity, Tiger, you know, getting in, taking away that Aegis pretty much as soon as it was picked up.
Yeah, that was very nice. They don't have to worry about Aegis now, don't have to play defensive. And Stormstormer, man, I started to feel like he's bullying Misha in this game. He's focusing him so much. It is an easy pick-off, but soon he has full Silver Edge, then perhaps even more heroes are going to be easy pick-offs for his Tiny.
Pure, a bit of a slowdown in his progression there. Did lose the Demon Edge on the Courier, so that way it's full Daedalus out for 3 minutes. Bit of a hold back on that one. On the other side, BZM. He's going to be very happy. He finds himself to time this Relic as a Zeus.
And again, they're chasing. Gotta find the Clockwork. I think this should be a kill.
I mean, the jetpack. He's got the hook shot. He's walking away from this. The Stormstormer's got to be a bit careful.
Oh my
Getting
god.
very
Zeus.
low. And he doesn't want... He's going to get taken out.
Oh, he was greedy.
BZM outplaying him there. I mean, he had the BKB, but didn't want to use it there. Was trying to hold on to it. And on the side, Amar, he's run down Fishman. They've got to get out of their Entity. Toby's into the trees, will TP out.
Huge play. I mean, BZM did disturbing amount of damage there in just a few casts.
Yeah, Storms, he wasn't ready for it at all. He had BKB. He didn't want to press it because he didn't want it to be forced out of him. But at the end of the day, it cost him his life.
7,000 damage done. I mean, of course, using ulti on Zeus is already so much. But the single target damage he did to the Tiny there was crazy. And OG are starting to look like a clear leader here in this game. 9,000 gold ahead.
And that was after a Roshan when they didn't get the hit, they didn't get the Aegis or the Shard.
Yeah, they flipped that really fast. They're also controlling the enemy Ancients now, getting all that farm on their peel. Kind of choking out Entity right now. Entity's position is very hard to be in. Still waiting for a tiny respawn, such a long way away.
They're going for that Bloodthorn next. Yuragi. He's going to have it a good time. And obviously the big threat still is the black hole from Toby.
Yeah, that's what we, you know, haven't really seen so far. He has that refresher as well. We haven't seen too many big black holes. I mean, we did see that one bottom, but that was set up.
One, yeah.
That was
it was a great one.
It was a great black hole. It was very set up by his team. But I think OG are doing a good job not staying too close to each other. They have Amar just running in alone. He kind of separates himself from his team, so he won't be a good black hole target. And yeah, all of them are kind of staying far away from each other. The cores are never stacking up.
Oh, it's been some classic Amar Razor this game. It's been in their faces and very hard for Entity to deal with, no doubt about it.
Needs more Manta style.
It's much time from Entity. They're ready to try and look for a move. They've got these black holes. They want to use them. Gonna get the jump in onto Amar. They want to drop a black hole for sure. Absolutely worth it here to go for the kill on Amar. They'll get him. He's out for 100.
Yeah, big kill. Immediately gonna refresh as well. And they're TPing out. Do not want to get caught out on the side of OG.
And the question is, how much can they get done with this 100 seconds that Amar's out of the game?
I think this one is just a like farm and try and shove lanes a little bit. It's not really a get an objective type kill.
Okay.
But it gets them the breathing room. Without doing this, they wouldn't be able to farm their own triangle in the first place. Now they can take much more farm on the map. They can start using the map.
We'll see some adaptation here from Pure this game. He's going to be going the Blink Aghanims route.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's really farmed already. So getting the Swift Blink to
Swift
replace
Blink,
replacing the power treads with Swift Blink is pretty normal. But the Aghanims, I think he's just farmed enough that it's time.
Yeah, he's thinking about that the 7th slot. I mean, getting close, of course, to the point where that next Roshan in a few minutes may indeed have the possibility for him to grab that up.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Meanwhile, Tiny is working on an Assault Cuirass. I think it's important because you have such an aura disparity right now. You don't have a Shivas, you don't have an AC. Razor has both.
Only 25 seconds until Amar's back up, so no chance for Entity to push the base right now. They'll hold back.
Yeah, it's more about just poking, pushing out a little bit, and trying to get yourself some space to farm. It's not really about getting building damage done, but OG with a smoke.
It's the sort of the sneaky one, right? You know, you try and hit them in this moment 10 seconds before your offlaner's back in the game, because it might just catch them by surprise.
Yeah, it means that the Razor can just TP and run in.
Oh! It's a deep hook shot. It's pretty far from the rest of his team. He's going to get the jump on Stormstormer. Stormstormer turns, stands his ground with the BKB. Will look towards Tiger. A couple more right clicks will take Tiger down. But now the BKB's coming to an end. Stormstormer's got to run. You see back in the river, Toby. He's going to come in with the black hole again, focusing down Amar, looking to lock him down. And see if they've got detection. They have. They'll get it down. The disarm. It's going to be in the Pure hands to step to the side. And Amar, he's able to step away. Yuragi's in, takes down Toby. Pure continues to try and chase Amar, but he cannot keep on top of the Razor. Amar's going to get out, turns with the plasma field. Pure's in trouble as BCM jumps back in, takes him out. It's 3 dead on Entity.
Yuragi and BCM both having amazing fights, and look at
Amar just continuing to tease them. At low HP, runs back in. They take down a 4-0. Stormstormer falls. OG with the outplay across the board there.
Yeah, that's all OG. They played a really beautiful fight. I love the way that Zeus was taking the fight as well. His positioning was really great. He was able to do a lot. And of course, he has that combination of having Octarine and Hex now. With the Blink Dagger as well, that means that he is really annoying. If he blinks in and hexes someone, he can burst them for so long.
And I think because there was a bit of hesitation with the damage output that they could get on towards Amar. I think it was Misha coming in with a Glimmer during that black hole. There was a bit of time where they couldn't keep the damage coming in right.
Yeah, it felt like the Terrorblade, he's trying his best, but he can't keep chasing here. And then he ends up trying, but...
A big push down mid. They'll take one set of racks. They're ready to look for another. There's Entity, no buyback available on Pure. Of course, the other two, Toby and Cat, only 10 seconds until they're back in. They don't want to expend theirs. This is going to be 2 sets of racks that OG's able to take. Now 20k against Entity. Feeling rather comfortable.
Must say, yeah. Right now, it feels like the PL is a huge threat. The Razor costs a lot to shut down. And someone needs to kill Tiny. Or the Zeus. The Tiny is perhaps the one who should be doing it, but Zeus now has an overwhelming blink.
Ah, he's so fat.
He has 4.1k HP.
He's jumping all around the place. He's hexing people right, left, and center.
He's got 700 more HP than the Razor at this point.
They're having a very, very good time at this moment in the game, OG.
Yeah, from here on, I think they just need to stay on this triangle and push top lane, which seems like they already identified this is the play.
The Dark are scanning.
Double Black Hole is up, so they're probably going to be a little bit cautious about that. You cannot sleep on Black Hole.
I mean, it's just proven to be very difficult for Toby to find these opportunities, right? The way that OG is constantly sort of scattered and separated around the fight means there's never the chance for the multi-man Black Holes.
Yeah, and it's no coincidence.
Fishman's going to go for the grip on Amar. Toby's in with the Black Hole. This time around, he's able to get the two of them. Pure jumps in. He's ready with the follow damage. Misha will get some safety with the Eon Disc, but Amar taken out. Eon Disc comes to an end. So does Misha's life. We'll see Pure starting to retreat. They're a little scared of Uragi and BZM, as Uragi and BZM have got good positioning on the high ground to get the distance in from a distance, damage in from a distance.
Yeah, smart to just disengage here as well after taking the fight there. I mean, you did buy back your Bane, but in the end, you should be happy if you're Entity. Got some good kills, can back out. But OG, they're just staying, controlling the area, taking tower.
Yeah, I mean, Uragi's going to definitely be feeling pretty unkillable at this stage. Ooh, that's another Black Hole. Toby's been able to get BZM, but Tiger's in with a hook shot. He's caught them in the three-man cogs, but the damage from Stormstormer and Pure at the side, it looks to be enough. 3 buybacks having to come out from OG, as they're suffering against the right clicks of Stormstormer and Pure. Uragi's going to try and get back in over towards the Terrorblade. Doppelganger in, off from the side. Misha's got the ult ready to go. Hits onto Pure. Pure getting low. Another Doppelganger from Uragi. Uragi jumps out to the side. Toby gets him with a Malefit. Doppelganger again. Uragi's still alive, protected by the Glimmer Cave. He's able to walk it out. They're just killing them all. Triple kill for Uragi. Triple kill for BZM. That's going to be game. GG's called. OG will take this game one. And honestly, in some of these team fights, Wagger, they were back at sort of the major form that we saw. Yep. This was some fantastic teamwork from OG in this game.
Yeah, OG playing super sharp there. I love the way that they took a lot of these fights. Their positioning, their understanding. I think they identified that not just Enigma, but also Monkey King ulti, Tiny Avatos combo. A lot of these things rely on you to stack up. If you don't stack up, you just play scattered, then it's very difficult to do anything. And look at the stuff they did. The Shard on Clockwork, he could fly around wherever, over cliffs and everything. The Hoodwink, he can run into tree lines. And then Razor, he can dive. That was what he did. He just ran in.
Amar had a great time that game. He was able to just go full Amar, just running at them 12, 4, and 11. And as you pointed on Tiger, I mean, at the end, it's pretty much a clutch hook shot to start things off that last fight. Sure, they did lose some heroes to the initial outburst of damage from Stormstormer and Pure, but some straightaway buybacks. They knew that was their chance to end the game.
Yeah, for sure. Good identification of like which team fights to take. I think the deciding moment in this game was that Roche fight where they lost Uragi to Stormstormer jumping in and killing him, which was very clean, but he had buyback and suddenly you're committed to kill the enemy carry and now you're in a bad spot. They buy back, it's like nothing ever happened, and suddenly they just get Roche along with kills. OG after that point looked to be dominant in every single fight.
Yeah, they really did. They were really on the same page today in this game. One OG. We'll see if they can keep it up in game 2, if Entity can shake them up a bit more. We know that Entity definitely has the potential in them. We saw it for sure at the start of this game.
Oh, yeah.
But all in all, a great game one to start the series. OG will take this first game. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This series is going to get spicier.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.esogaming.com.
I got a feeling deep in my soul. Ain't no secret, 'cause everybody knows. I got a feeling I just can't hide. Burning brightly, you see it in my eyes. Now you
this best of 3 series between OG and Entity in Division 1 of the Western European DPT League goes the way of OG. Now, this game was a matter of Terrorblade versus Phantom Lancer, but I think we kind of underestimated maybe the impact Zeus could have as well, especially with the Darkness Relic, right, Fogs?
My favorite item of Dota 2.
In the end, though, I mean, this fight was definitely the deciding factor with good buybacks. We saw some great fights also going away with Entity, but overall, it was just OG just slightly outmaneuvering Entity.
Yeah. What I like about OG is they're a team that are not afraid to use buybacks to win the fight. The one from Yuragi early on to be able to secure the Roshan. I think there was also one extra from either 4 or 5. Not sure which one, but yeah, they understand, like, have very good understanding of the game, like what needs to be done at certain points, and this is kind of where the game leans. Also, it becomes very difficult for Terrorblade to play the game. We saw Pure have an extremely good performance on his Terrorblade the other day. This time around, the matchup just not as great. Like playing against the Phantom Lancer, playing against the Zeus. Like, Zeus is just insanely good hero.
It's actually ridiculous how much damage this hero does. And of course, Timeless Relic, like Sheev said. Yeah. He finds the item, gets a kill on the Tiny in the bottom lane because of the stun duration lasts longer.
I can sense some bias from Sheever, you know, sitting in the tent, the tentity, we can call it, you know, thinking about the Timeless Relic being imbalanced item and everything. I just had to use it. I know.
I'm waiting for the tent memes. No, in true OG fashion, though, the tri-scale, right? The tri-core was magnificent.
For me, though, I felt like OG was... They found their tranquility again since the major. Like, this was the type of game where you never felt like they were forcing anything too crazy. Sure, they got smoked on a couple of times, PL got picked off, but it never felt like they were panicking, and you could see it in how they distribute the farm. Amar being top net worth, Yuragi then catching up and then becoming a threat later on into the game. So I think for OG's sake, I think they found the issues that they were saying that they had last week at least, and if you have a draft that has this like core-to-core matchup where you are going to outscale them, that's when you're going to be scared if you're playing against OG.
And speaking of core-to-core matchup, T, we went for the mid matchup, Stormer versus BZM, with the Tiny versus the Zeus, and we chose KDA because it felt like it was friendlier.
Yeah.
It's not fair to ever do damage with the Zeus in the game.
You're never going to win.
No.
But to be fair, Storm, he did do a lot of work in this game early on for Entity. We mentioned that he needs to kind of open up the game to give his team a platform. Look, his name's so big, we can't even see it. Tormer. Or Tom Tommy. But anyway,
the middle S does not disappear regardless of how big his name is.
I have a slur. That was actually
British
scary.
thing. They removed the S. They removed the T from most of the words in the middle. Now they removed the S.
Can you also remove T from the panel?
Oh, hey. Anyway, 15-4 and 7. I think his early moves were great, and it did give Entity a platform to play on. But yeah,
no, he did. I think he dominated. Honestly, I thought Storm was. I thought he was going to be the X factor this game because the TB was so addressed in the draft with the PL and the Zeus. But game game just got really difficult for them, right? Couple of fights where Zeus just does 10,000 damage. Everyone else does like a pitiful 2,000 or so. Yeah.
Haven't mentioned it, but I think Misha, his Glimmer Cape's very clutch. I think throughout this entire game, you had backpack dust on Tiny, backpack dust on Enigmas. It was so crucial, and even in the late fight, Amar was getting caught. He didn't die because of these clutch glimmers. So Misha, very good performance with your Glimmer Cape usage.
It's a good point because they played this traditional style of. Sorry, Sheev. These traditional style of like real supports, right? Like these guys were bottom net worth the whole time. You can see on the other side, Katomi as well as Fishman, they were starting to get some scaling, but they have the 2 poor supports and the 3 super farm cores, which we want to see that distribution.
Yeah, there could be a lot of interesting points made about this first game, and there will be a lot of interesting points made about game number 2 as well. But first, the second game actually has to happen. Draft of it will start after this break.
broken bones and your terrible pros. The bicycle thief, the boy I used to be, stuck in between your skin, with all your veins choking in. Oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh. It's time to bring your heart back. 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 Change your mind. 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 Bring your heart back. Drawing my core keys on a white A4 sheet. Might briefly pass the time, but won't solve the pain inside. And all your friends are screaming, but you're barely out of breath. The kids all seem to hate you, but you haven't started yet. It's time to bring your heart back. 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 Beat young heartbeat. 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 Change your mind. Bring your heart back. Change your mind. Bring your heart back. Change your mind. Change your mind. Change your mind. Bring your heart back. 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 Change your mind. Bring your heart back.
OG versus Entity is a series in Division 1 of the Western European DPC League. You're watching Dreamleague Season 18. We're powered by Intel. First game of this series was taken by OG. It was a relatively close one. Some nice, good team fights for us to enjoy, and we're hoping that we can enjoy some of those in game number 2 as well. Game number 2 begins with the draft, and we are actually, well, underway in the draft. I'm joined by Tigaf, I'm joined by Lacoste, I'm joined by Fogged. And where do you go from game number 1, Fogged? Because it kind of felt like maybe Phantom Lancer at the end of the day was like good answer from OG. But was it an outdraft situation, game 1? Like, is this where fixes need to be happening?
I think the Terrorblade overall was addressed, like really well addressed. I think if they do want to pick it as this first 2 for Pure,
yeah.
The 2 heroes that come to mind for you, or like 3 big heroes that come to your mind for you, like in the past, it's like the Morphlings, the Zeus, the PLs, right?
Yeah.
That's always the ones that would have, like, you have the counter matchup for the carry, you have the overall magic damage that always deals them. We can throw Tinker in too when he's meta. You know, he used to be that terrible counter, but I don't think we'll ever see him again. Thank God, because I hate that hero so much.
It's just like everyone hates that hero, besides a couple of hero specialists, because it makes the games really boring.
It's game
It was sarcasm.
I guess.
Why?
No, but okay, they actually banned out the Enigma. So Entity is still first pick, and I was gonna wonder if they would keep the same bans in pick order, still get that Terrorblade after the Razor Clock, and then maybe change up the bans in second phase. Some teams like to keep the same strategies going into game 2, but then this time they want to see Toby on a different hero, a bit more active, a little bit more opening into the game and play forwards like they normally have done him before. So.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I like the Enigma. He actually landed some pretty good black holes and stuff like that, but I like seeing Toby being able to play faster. This is like, I'm really reliant on just playing around, 3-minute cooldown, need my BKB, blah, blah, blah. So I just like when he's able to play more aggressive and more suicidal.
And we're gonna see Fishman Clockwork. I think we're gonna see more overall of this hero. It just feels really good to have, like having a BKB piercing ability and initiation from your position 5, strong laner, a hero that can go in, trade well, having vision as well, the hero that can scout Roshan, makes a lot of sense.
Now, I feel like for Entity, they could easily do like a Visage after this as well. Clock Visage, have that flexibility in their lineup, allow them to kind of control the draft a bit, but It's getting a bit forward. OG, they go for the puck. I think this hero has immensely gained popularity. You know, EG's first phase and getting an A and winning there. We see obviously OG now picking up now as well. I guess if you patch-wise, nothing really changed. Indirectly, you could maybe argue BKB buffed him a bit. I know, talking to Jenkins about that, but not really. Yeah, nothing too crazy happened to puck. It's more the entire game state changed to give him some more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, some heroes that were good versus puck, I guess, in a way, got nerfed a little bit, right? Shadow Shaman disappeared off the face of the earth after you can't do Roshan overall, so the instant disable. There's still DKs, so some of these instant disables are there, but...
I kind of sense you being salty about it.
About what?
The Shaman?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really abuse it at all, actually. I think I just like that hero a lot, but...
The hero is really fun to play.
Oh,
all right.
Look who got moved up in priority with the Zeus.
So two heroes that are tough for the Clockwork to catch.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be position 4 or 5 Zeus, so you still have an ability to just get out of the trouble against the... You still deal a ton of damage with this, like Zeus as a support. So they need some kind of catch, something else.
5 seconds.
Some kind of a hard lockdown.
Give me some leash. Leash this Zeus down. I think it's amazing. I think they also run it in multiple different roles. We've even seen it flex to 4/5s, I think, a couple times.
Yeah, we did.
Not my favorite role that it's played in. I really prefer it on a 3 or a 1, but it can be flexed.
Yeah, I think the key thing for Entity is they're trying to look at this opening of OG and go, if we just get our 1-item timing and group up and make some clean plays, it doesn't matter if you have the Zeus support, if it's puck mid, we're just going to be able to barrel through you. They have to respect coil, of course, but it does kind of show that Entity is going to try and, at least be a bit more aggressive in this game, unlike that previous one where they just relied on winning lanes and maneuvering around the map a bit better.
And right away, you're mentioning like the push, the big timings, right? Get rid of Toby's Lycan.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the summon heroes. Zeus does not enjoy playing versus that. You're scouted all game. These stupid little summons chasing you. Wolves and giant granite golem just beating you on you.
Are there any more of those you should ban out? Like, I don't know if... Because Entity is not a big Chen or Ench player team. But I don't know if that's something that you should be worried about regardless.
I think they already have their position 5 locked in with the Clockwork, so... I think they're going to be looking for something else. And most of those are banned out anyway.
What happened to Lion? Dude, Lion got buffed. Lion's Impale moves really fast now, and he has a built-in Hex for puck. Only one person in the world plays that.
We're in the wrong region right now.
He's the only guy in the world.
Herald guy. These two players, they play Lion. It's just difficult. When you get scouted out against puck, you're always going to be in solo kill trash hold with the Witchblade on. You get one silence, one jump, and you're dead.
Yep.
I do like... it's always just nice to have that instant disable versus pesky puck. Looking at the bans, looking to take out Amar. 5 bans. Well, 4 and a half. He doesn't.
No, we'll go 4 bans.
We'll go 4.
He doesn't play the Enigma. No.
He's not gold here. He's not allowed.
It would be on his lane if it was.
Yeah, that is true. So it is 5 Amar enabling heroes. There we go. Yeah. Good shout. But
yeah, definitely. Are there still some left in the pool?
Yeah, I like the Viper, Razor, and Underlord bans too because they remove Gravekeepers really fast, and they're just pesky, obnoxious heroes to play most carries as.
I mean, also Clock 5, you don't really want to play Clock 5 into any of Amar's heroes, right? Like his entire hero pool kind of shits on Clock to some degree. So you kind of need to ban it to give Fishman a game.
Agreed.
Yeah, OG was the team to try out the Mars last Tuesday. It was the game that they lost in 17 minutes, and you guys earlier said already Mars is not in the greatest state at the moment. But it's still in the pool.
I honestly wouldn't mind Mars at a later stage for OG at some point. Again, I need to see more heroes, but it's just one of those counter-aggressive style heroes that might be needed for them, but
I'm just thinking, where's Pagna? Pagna did get nerfed, but against like Puck Zeus, it might be the pick.
Yeah,
it could be.
I'm not sure. It disappeared. I actually like Doom right now for Entity.
They can quick BKB running. Yeah.
The Katomi played so well on it the other day, and they have like this Visage, so they can actually, if they pick Doom +1, then they can still flex if the Visage is going to be 3 position with Doom. We've seen that lane dominate, and we've seen you be able to move into mid. But
or they go for a Sky.
Okay. So this hard silence versus Puck is nice, and they'll still play with the Tiny.
Gives Clock a game as well. We've already mentioned how much vision Visage gives, but now you're going to have Clock or Tiny jumping in off of the back of the bird vision, Sky giving the damage. Like if Puck's ever out of position, trying to be a little bit more aggressive, there's always kill threat. So in the back of your mind as a Puck player now, you have to be a little bit more respectful, and that can be the type of timing that gives Entity entry to the game.
You might have to switch your itemization, right? You like Yule's ends up like ticking up in favor a lot when you're playing versus Skywrath. The game can be
some earlier BKB for like 20, 22 minutes.
Yeah, maybe he does Witchblade BKB on Puck instead. That actually probably sounds better, but...
It's a lot of magical damage on side of OG. Everything they have is magical. They tried out Jakiro 2 times against Thundra. Didn't look as good. I think the hero is in an okay spot right now. Trades really well in the lane. Difficult to kill.
Just think of this high ground, right? Like 30 minutes into the game, you're trying to win. Macropire, Arc Lightnings, Orbs and Coils. Like, OG at least giving themselves an insurance policy. I think in open map play, where they're defending their jungle, it can be quite difficult to take these fights. They pick a Mars to give some security at least, to localize a fight, but...
Yeah. I like the Mars versus Visage overall too. Like, you are very annoying. Sure, Visage has ways to play around it. As soon as you get your Ags too, you can actually fly in and out of Mars Arena. It's one of those flying abilities. But overall, you can actually protect people pretty well, like from Visage doing a ton of damage before that timing does come out. And it's just squishy. I mean, depending on what roles, right now it's a little flexible still for Entity, but if they have like, the Tiny could be mid or carry right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Visage Skywrath doesn't sound like the best dual lane.
No, if they're like putting Visage on the off lane, I think it's much better if they pair it up in the lane with the Clockwork.
Agreed.
Because it has much more kill threshold. It's easier to build it up. And then you have Skywrath Mage. They might just go with like standard stuff, I would say. But I don't know if Visage Skywrath Mage puts in trust in the laning stage.
It doesn't sound so strong. And you all, Clock versus Jakiro, you know, that's pretty nice as the Clockwork for most stages of the game. Still gonna ban the PL. I mean, that one definitely put a bit of a...
Did you say Jug?
Taste.
Yeah, I think...
Jug is really good for
Entity?
For OG. I think he lanes well into Visage. He doesn't care too much about the Clockwork.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, they're banning out Night Stalker, so a little bit of vision removed, and of course the silence for people to get onto the top of the Zeus or the Puck. But it is also an offlane hero, so they also are not sure yet where this Visage is gonna go.
Yeah, they're probably expecting like carry Tiny or Visage mid.
Yeah.
If Entity, I also feel like Jug or Lifestealer right now feel super high value. For the earlier fights, being able to ignore the Puck the entire time, to give a good lane against Mars, and then you hope that your Visage has a good lane. Tiny will always have a good time. It's Stormstormer playing it. Naturally farms up pretty well. Just gives yourself some nice aggressive heroes.
I almost said I hope to see a lifesteal. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. But you know, I'm curious to see this hero because it got buffed and changed a little bit.
Great gameplay coming out from the Lifestealer.
Right,
very fun to watch.
Right click, right click, right click.
Look at him go. They're building the Brewmaster.
So carry Tiny then. Okay.
Yeah, carry Tiny.
Can they do something funky with the push potential from this?
I was speaking about how OG's scared about open fights. And they picked a Mars to try and give themselves some cover. Now Brew fully dismantles that. Your backline is scared.
I like Faceless Void here. I do like Jug as well. But just to have an extra lockdown, like this Brewmaster is super annoying to play into if he's off to a good start. If he gets to his item timings, Brewmaster just becomes very difficult to deal with. They do have like a silent stun, sure, but once he gets to Eon Disc territory, it's super annoying.
This hero is so tanky as well versus Magical Burst too. You just throw the rum on yourself, you're like 80% magic resist or whatever it is, so if they do focus on him, he can live in.
I was a game late with the damn. All right.
Do we like Alchemist here?
I'm trying to assess. I mean, Jakiro is one of those heroes that enables most safe lanes because you're so tanky and you give farm.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Visage carry as well.
Okay. Usually, Brewmaster is picked into Alchemist to be able to deal with him because all of the net worth is going to be concentrated around Alch. So if you take him out with the Storm Panda, then like it gets much easier to team fight.
I don't mind it though for OG because ignoring that, if you are able to get to an earlier BKB timing, Clock, Sky, these heroes, they're not going to really care too much. So I think, I hope Seth doesn't think I'm wrong. I'm talking about your team here, Chief. So I think it gives them a BKB timing to play super aggressive with. And it's into a carry Visage, so it's not as if you're playing Alk into another quick scaling core, right?
Yeah, they will scale massively this game. Like, Entity will definitely get outscaled as game progresses.
So Entity on the clock?
Yeah, Fishman's on the clock.
Yeah, he's on the clock,
I can't say next year.
That first game was pretty intense, and this was also intentional pawn as well.
How long have you been sitting on the towel?
He has so many. You have no idea. You think he has like
No,
notes
these are not
about,
notes.
like,
These are
these are memes.
It's Notepad.
It says notes, but it's actually not.
Oh man, Carry Visage. I mean, I haven't gotten to see much Carry Visage.
No.
But I mean, I'm
Since the major, I would though we saw a lot of the from the Hawk, right?
It got banned early on. Well, after the
Yeah,
group
okay,
stages,
yeah.
it started getting banned like
Okay.
every game.
For the playoffs. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think I favor Alk though. There's something inside me who always thinks Alk in this scenario, you have so much magic damage behind you that even if Alk is kited, he's going to soak up enough to allow all this damage. So I kind of think that this is going to be the Alk game. I'm just a big Alk enthusiast, so.
2-0 for T-Gov.
I'll quote Cinderin, when it's good Alchemist game, it's good Alchemist game.
And is this a good Alchemist game?
It's decent Alchemist game, yeah.
But it's not good.
I don't know what that means. But, I'm a little torn. I love Katomi on his Skywrath. I think he's a big difference maker. He can actually shut down the puck a lot. So I think the puck is crucial for their kind of game timing to set up the Alk. So I don't know. I'm a bit torn.
Okay, well, let's find out if we're going to have a third game to the series. We're heading over to Odie Pixel and Waga.
Thank you, Steven. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of OG versus Entity. So some fun stuff coming out here, Wagga. We're getting that final pick, Alchemist from OG, and of course from Entity, Pure on the Visage. I was just doing a quick check on the account that I could find from him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's only played one game in the last 2 years, and he did lose that game. So maybe he's probably got other accounts where he's playing, maybe played in some scrims, but it's going to be interesting what he can do on the hero.
Yeah, I mean, Carry Visage is something I haven't seen for a long time, to be honest, in a pro game. So very exciting to see how they're going to do this. They have quite a bit of a zoo almost in the Visage with the summons and then the Brewmaster ulti. But both teams playing pretty exciting style here, it seems. Look at Entity.
30 seconds.
Behind the
they're actually in Fog of War, but yeah, they get scouted. That is actually a sneaky move. They were in perfect Fog of War until Zeus revealed them.
Yeah, they're all there, the full 5 of them Entity, so OG's got to be a bit careful how far away from their tower they go.
Yeah, far away or too close to a tower or Entity.
And some of these other heroes as well, of course, like Toby on the Brew, a hero that at least in this region we've not really been seeing much of. Have you always felt there's still potential with this hero? I mean, where do you sort of stand on Brewmaster at the moment?
Oh yeah, I think Brewmaster's quite strong, honestly. He's, you know, not completely broken anymore, because he was for a while. But now I think he's a good option that you should be open to. And honestly, I think his tread switching on the Drunken Brawler basically is super exciting and a fun way to play him. So you can just switch around to different stances. Once you get used to it, it's very, very powerful.
So look at these lanes. Dude, eyes on Pure. It's a very different style of hero, right, to the Terror Blades that we've been seeing in play.
Yeah, it's not quite the same. Might be a little bit hard lane here to begin with. He's against the father-son lane of Mars and Zeus, by the way, in Dota lore, at least. I think Mars has a lot of damage early on, and it can be a little bit dangerous for Visage with 1 armor.
In mid. See how this one plays out. BZN this time, of course, on the puck, rather than the Zeus that he did pop off on last game.
Yeah, he played an outstanding game with Zeus. I think, in general, BZM plays well on heroes that can really, you know, shine, like Playmaker-style mid-heroes that can be aggressive and look for kills. And Puck definitely fits the bill for that, so expecting him to go for a Witchblade and want to just fight in this game.
In terms of the safe lane pressure that both carriers are going to be receiving, I mean, top, how do you think Uragi's going to do here? Can sort of Misha and the Jakiro provide enough safety for him against these two?
I don't think it's so easy for Jakiro to provide security, because he will always lose the trade against Skywrath, assuming that he doesn't get some Fog of War advantage. Because there's just a range disadvantage for the Skywrath. Pretty low HP on mid lane, but the bottle is arriving for both teams.
I think not.
Gonna regen up, but I think Alchemist should be able to get some farm, but he is taking more pressure than he would like.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See bottom Tiger. A little far up here, Fishman.
Yeah, far up, but he got that deny. All about being as cheeky as possible. Stop the Visage farm.
Now, of course, Fishman knowing that he can't really do too much. Tiger. with that heavenly jump at the ready if Fishman does ever try and go on him.
Yeah. Seems like the lane is just sort of last hit battle. Visage is getting decent farm though. Clockwork is using his life. Has to be careful though. Don't get jumped by Mars as well as Zeus.
No, for sure, yeah. If Mars able to land the combo and Tiger's ready to commit in with the jump. Could be deadly for the Clockwork.
Up we see a bit of bullying. Misha is chasing down Kataomi. In spite of being like 35 movement speed slower. So can't chase too effectively.
Oh, CS in the top lane. Toby 13 for 5 against the 10 for 3. That's slight advantage. Let's bottom. Again, trying to go for Tiger, but he's never a threat with that jump at the ready.
Yeah,
always has the escape.
He can always get away, so it doesn't even feel like you do much by threatening him.
On top, Uragi's got a point in the concoction. He's ready to fight. He'll charge straight for Toby. One more punch will do it. It's first blood for him.
The unexpected 1-point stun. Big power play right there. Some people will just skill up greed or skill up the acid spray, but gets the stun immediately and caught him out a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, very tasty payoff. Getting a point in that early.
Oh, Clockwork has to be careful here. He's gonna get slowed. Spear.
Oh, into his own cogs. And they'll finish him off for that one. I mean, that really is the case. You know, the cogs, they're not going to be a threat for Tiger because he's always going to be able to jump out. And if anything, they're just going to be more of a threat for Fishman himself when Amar's around with a spear. He's got to be careful with those.
Exactly. Difficult to get out in time. Mid lane, we've seen pretty constant harassment by the puck, but Tiny pretty hard here to harass just by having so much HP. So fairly even in the CS department there.
Amar, top CS right now. See, Fishman. The two of them, Amar definitely the one that he can more easily harass in the cogs. A lot of damage here, Amar. Oh, he's actually thinking about turning and maybe making a play here with Tiger. He's got to be careful as low as he is. Back up top, Toby in trouble.
Yeah, Alchemist starting to become more and more a force on this lane. He's staying high HP, doing a lot of damage, and in comes his helm. So now he should not be able to get punished, really. So looking towards Alex's lane to get easier Clockwork. Kind of fighting against two here.
Yeah, he's really trying to tank it against both of them, but the spear's up. Fishman, he's going to be dead for this one.
Yeah, he tanked it all right, but can't really survive all those right clicks coming in there. It's not even the spells that killed him. He just took a lot of auto attacks.
He's definitely having a tough time here in this early game, Fishman. He had a very solid impact early on as the Bane in game one, but this game too, Tiger and Amar, they've definitely got his number down there.
I think a lot of this comes down to the fact that Visage is not a strong laner until he gets level 6. Like, Visage is just kind of trying to cruise by this laning stage. He doesn't provide anything. A little bit slow, a little bit of nuke possibly, yeah, but his auto attack is abysmal, and he's just not a dominant force in lane.
See over in the mid, Misha did head over around the power rune spawn. It's going to be top. See if Misha's able to force them to pick it up. No, he's not going to head down. So Stormstormer will get that safe refuel at the bottle.
Yeah, get some mana. Probably not going to be able to use the Invis rune for too much, especially as he's showing the Invis by coming back to mid lane. I already saw it. Visage getting closer though. He's almost halfway to level 6. I think it's super crucial for him to get that level. Then he can maybe make a switch to pressure the Alchemist a bit more, because you don't want to leave Alchemist uncontested.
Sure. And you feel what, even with the 6 down here, unlikely that he can, like, go for a kill against Amar.
He could try. He could try. I think it's just the more important one to try and kill is probably pressure the Alchemist, get him out of the lane, and take his tower top.
Yeah. And Amar is getting very beefy down here, of course. Triple braces and raindrop. Circlet on top of that as well. He's got all the early game stats ready for this lane.
Yeah, he really wants all the stats.
Now, mid lane, as even as it gets. 7 minutes in, 48 for 5 against 46 for 7. Both Stormer and BZM keeping the score settled there.
Neck and neck.
Try and get aggressive onto Uragi, but smartly done that. Immediately TP's out. Doesn't want to try and run away from those two in the chase that they hold. We'll see the build from Yuragi, Armlet, into, of course, just rushing that Radiance as quickly as he can.
Yeah, I think it's good. Armlet's super value on Alchemist. You can keep it on. You have your regen from the ulti. And you do want Radiance.
Now bottom lane him up. He's going to set up onto Pure. BZM and Tiger, they've got the follow-up magical to burst through him and take him out.
His birds gonna get away, maybe? He gets them to safety.
Close to Fishman being able to find, but it did actually have battery assault, of course, still on cooldown, so wouldn't have quite been able to stop the retreat from BZM.
Very good start though for OG. I like the rotation there by Puck, realizing he can come and make a difference. The Wild Wing Ripper. Such a troll creep. Sometimes it just tosses you towards enemies, sometimes it tosses the enemy away. You never know what it's gonna do.
And hard for them to pressure Yuragi now. He's hit the 6. They will always have that rage to be able to survive and run away.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, for now it seems like Tiny is just gonna stay mid and farm a little bit. Try and take it easy. Stormstormer wants that Blink Dagger, of course, so gonna have to work for quite a while. But all the time that you're farming, the Alchemist is farming more efficiently. So it's hard to wait for item timings because you know the Alch is gonna hit a bigger item timing. And look at the jungle. He's farming now. They had a stack for him, Mud Golems as well as Satyrs. So he's getting kind of huge. And he gets another Mud Golem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like to call this killing the younglings, you know? When you have double Mud Golems, there's just so many of them. And they're so weak.
It's a lot of money here for Yuragi.
He just has to. Oh, digs up a bit of gold.
There we go. More things to kill. More money to harvest.
With the Armlet now, he can farm pretty fast.
Bottom lane. CMR and Tiger go for the move on Fishman. Fishman's got back up on its way. Still quite far, though. See if he can live long enough. He's definitely making them work for it. They'll get the kill, but they've had to go pretty deep for this. So an opportunity for Entity to get some kills in return. Tiger will opt for the TP out, but they've got the Avalanche to stop it. As Entity, they should be able to punish both of them for this one. Indeed, Amar taken out as well as Tiger. Stormstormer gets the double. Same time in the mid, though, Pure does show himself. I won't be able to get in range for the concoction. BZM's going to continue to dive in. TPs are coming over, but Pure's already been taken out. So the toss combo onto BZM. Trying to take this puck down in return, but the orb's back up. He's away. As OG, they may have lost the 2 heroes down bottom, but they seized the opportunity to get the kills in mid. We're going to see the chase, though, from Fishman. He's actually managed to catch Misha in the hook shot. For Entity, they will get an extra support kill out of the response in the mid.
Yeah, I think good moves overall by Entity. They're trying to stay active, but again, losing the Visage there, any death on him is really painful right now, I think. He needs to have a good, fast early game because you're playing against an Alchemist, and Alchemist is going to get huge. So if you get picked off on the Radiant carry here, that can spell disaster.
Fishman, he's going to be able to get away from that. No, they've got the Zeus ult ready to go. Tiger.
Yeah, he was holding it, waiting to see if Mars could possibly get the God's Rebuke, but as he saw that cannot happen, there's another God's Rebuke coming in with the Zeus ulti.
Absolutely, the God's ready to play here. 7 for 3, 4K lead. Obviously, a lot of that natural here down to the fact that they have this out. Yuragi getting the space.
Yeah, it's a worrisome thing here if you're looking from the lens of Entity. I mean, this Alchemist, he's getting a lot of time and space. Huge stacks being farmed all the time. Again, double stacks on both the medium and the big camp here.
They're going to have that timing here, Entity. Stormstormer Blink is ready to roll. They've got to look for something big for this one. Top kill would be Yuragi.
That would be the best one, but again, he is deep in and he's kind of surrounded by his friends, so you'd have to smoke past him somehow. Not an easy task. Stormer is trying to shove the lane and then hoping to maybe make a move.
We're going to haste rune as well. Between that and the blink, opportunities to make a play, but as you can see, OG, they've left this top half completely.
Yeah, correctly has moved over to a triangle. I mean, it's 12 minutes in. You have to expect that he's going to start farming triangle or push your safe lane anytime now.
Of course, they know that this Blink's going to be coming for them, so unlikely that Stormstormer's going to catch anyone by surprise this game with that Blink reveal.
I think this is starting to look really good for OG though. If they can just keep this calm, they have 7,000 gold lead right now, and yeah, the gold lead is a bit inflated when you have Alchemist. It doesn't mean as much as it normally does.
Sure. But this is still a lot.
Yeah, 7k.
Right, yeah.
7k is still plenty, and if he gets to Radiance in a safe manner, that would be huge.
I mean, and it's still sort of the question is going to be, you know, what impact is Pure going to be able to have here as a carry Visage in this match? Because he's had a slow start.
That's what I'm curious about as well. He's going for drums as the first item, so that is a tempo item. You want to make something happen. Farming stacks. I don't think Visage is too fast at doing it, so gets a bit of help from Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Yuragi, very happy with the space that he's getting. He's been able to move around his side of the map in a way that Entity haven't had the opportunity of getting anywhere close to him, really.
I think his team is doing a good job. I mean, it's not just that he's magically finding this space on his own. He's just got these friends playing the lanes really smart. They're always sitting in sort of a defensive barrier formation almost on the minimap that you'd have to get past them somehow to get to the Alchemist.
Smoke time from both sides. Mark, he's going to be the target. Remember the jump, toss combo, keeping him in the Mystic Flare. He's finally going to get taken down, but at the same time, Pure ends up falling in the mid there. Caught in the combo of the Dream Coil and the Macropire, Pure goes down.
Yeah, and they expand Zeus ulti to get that kill, make sure that he dies. And I think, again, you're going to be happy if you're OG for that trade. This Visage is not a very good hero matching up against Terrorblade, by the way, since he does so much physical damage. You have your soul assumption, but most of what you do is still physical. And Terrorblade doesn't care about it.
Terrorblade?
Oh, sorry. The Alchemist is not going to care about it. Because he already has the armor going into the Radiance.
Yeah. I'm sure, you know, Pure's probably got Terrorblade on his mind as well. He was like, if only I was playing a hero more like Terrorblade. Because
still got last game on my mind.
Yeah. He's not quite getting to hit the creeps the same way as he can as a TB, that's for sure. See Fishman. Gonna get the catch on Misha. I'll probably just let him go. I mean, Mars eyeing up the opportunity to start things off, and in fact, he's ready to turn this. As Misha is going to be able to get out to the side, will still die. They'll lose Fishman in return, jump forward with the toss, Stormstormer trying to burst through Amar, and with that control, they'll keep him in the Mystic Flare, and they will manage to take him down. They get the 2 kills.
Yeah, good Mystic Flare combination. They did use the Brewmaster ulti now, though, so that's going to be on cooldown. And again, these fights, they're not really big losses, and the full Radiance is completed, flying out to the Alchemist. He has this now, and that's just going to ramp up his farm. 15 minutes. And we're looking at what? He's sitting at 10,900 net worth. I feel like every camp he's farming is pretty much a stacked camp as of late here. He's got to make sure to clear the Ancients here as well before they spawn again. Yeah, look at that. 8 camps stacked on Jakiro. He's the one who's been setting up for his friend. And even look at that.
Oh, look at that, Misha.
The fast food delivery right there. Oh, no, he missed one. The Ancients came in and swooped one of the melee creeps. And game is over.
Entity. Fishman's on the hunt for the heavenly jump. Tiger able to avoid that hookshot connection. And we're still for the build of Yuragi. Of course, BKB into Blink next. I mean, once he's got those 2 done, he's going to be ready to fight. And the question really is to be if Entity are going to be quite as prepared to deal with this Alchemist that's going to come barreling at them.
Yeah, Alchemist, I mean, he's going to come in very, very hard soon because he's building the BKB, so we know that he's going to want to start taking part, doing something. And even if he doesn't, he just has that for security. It's going to be even harder to gank him. Meanwhile, on the side of Entity, it feels like they're slowly playing towards this Aghanims on Visage, but they're only halfway towards it, a little bit more than halfway. Need a point booster. This game is slowly but steadily slipping, I feel.
Ooh, they're going to consider the Roche play.
Smart. I think they need to do something. Get an advantage. Maybe with the Aegis, they could go and push towers.
Yeah.
see if they can get away with this.
They kind of are. I mean, half HP.
I don't think they're expecting it on the side of OG. I don't think they have any idea.
They're going to ping now. I think there was BZM pinging over here, but it's all too late. That's going to be Roche taken out here. Entity able to find a bit of an opportunity there whilst they are behind.
Yeah, now they have Aegis on the Tiny, so he can be hyper aggressive.
Stormstormer.
Speaking of that aggression.
Trying to see if we can get the catch and the toss back on Tiger, but again, the jump keeps Tiger safe.
Yeah, just trying to make something happen. I must say, they're on the clock. The net worth lead hasn't really increased so much. It's steady about, like, you know, last few minutes here. But over the course of the game, they're falling behind more and more.
Oh, should have that timing for the next fight. Pure Aghanim is very close to being done. But almost certainly, Yuragi will have that blink on top of the BKB by that time. You can see here, solid timing here, fair faster than the average from Yuragi this game.
I mean, he hasn't died a single time.
Yep.
He's having a flawless game, basically, for Alchemist. Not dying a single time, farming tons of stacked camps. This is the dream. This is Vinland.
And fast BKB as well for Amar. They're very much ready to bring these fights, OG. And ready to respond to the push from Entity. Of course, they will have to take this Aegis on Stormstormer into account. Will make things a little more complex for OG in the team fights.
Yeah, the panelists were talking before the game how the high ground defense is really strong. Oh, might go for a kill here.
Miragi, he's ready to get that concoction in. Fishman will try and hookshot away, but he gets taken out on the side. BZM getting him deep in the Dream Coil. He's caught the two of them. See Stormstormer having to step back here. Miragi also retreating here, respecting the primal split from Toby. He wants to get in again, though, because the primal split's soon to come to an end. BZM is actually, he continues to jump around the backlines. He was actually nearly able to bring Stormstormer down the once. He's incredibly low himself, and he will go down for that one.
Yeah,
he really tried to take that Aegis out of Stormstormer, but couldn't quite do it.
He was a little bit too deep there, overestimating his abilities, but you know, his team didn't stay around for too long. The Alchemist was already long gone and farming.
Yeah, they were sort of backing up the rest of them.
Yeah, that was again a Bruce split used, but I think it's good for Entity that they're trying to take these fights. Oh, the clogs protect him.
That does indeed save him from a bit of the damage from that wall. Amar's got the BKB good to go, but he will have to back away.
There's
Not quite having the ability to take him down during that arena.
They're gonna try and take this D-Turn over on Tiny.
So they can finish this tier 1 tower. TP coming in from Yuragi. He will be ready to go once again, and this time around he has got the blink.
Yeah, every time you click him at this point, he's just adding one more item. And they're smoking up now, trying to get something with a blink stun initiation, perhaps.
I know that entities here in the jungle have scanned it out. Ready with the concoction. In they go. They're going to go straight for Toby here. It's a long stun with that concoction. Toby gets taken out. So Yuragi ready to start charging for the next target. Has got the BKB if he feels pressure. Katsumi turns with the Mystic Flare. Yuragi able to walk it off to the side. Help the team take down another. Now they've got to really consider if they want to keep this fight going. Stormstormer's going to try and get back in. Is able to blow up Tiger here with the combo. But Yuragi's just going from 1-to-1 and he's cleaning them up. There's 3 dead here on Entity.
Only the cores are alive now. Pulse 1 and Pulse 2 versus the Pulse 1 and Pulse 3.
And see if Yuragi wants to get back in and try and bail out Amar. He's going to try with the concoction. But Amar, he will fall. Entity ultimately will be the team to get the cleanup.
They get the cleanup, they keep the Aegis, and unfortunately they don't get the highest value kill, but they did get a lot of gold for their efforts. 1,000 gold over on the Tiny, 1,000 gold on Visage. So speeding up their progression a little bit.
We'll see the start here. OG very much the ones that wanted to really force this action. But all through that whole fight, sort of Pure goes untouched. He's able to sort of keep to the edge and kite everybody out. No real focus on towards the Visage here. OG couldn't go for him. They went for the others.
Yeah, if Visage is undisturbed in a fight, then he can have a huge impact. Spamming his W.
saw it at this point. In the 2v2, Yuragi, he did the calculations and he realized there was no more fight to be had. He didn't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, you just tell your teammate, I've done the calculations.
I'm out.
Sorry, I'm out. This is where I leave you.
Yeah, it was just towards the end there as well. Amar, he tried to keep the fight going, but he was just seconds away from having his BKB back online. It was still on cooldown for that whole fight.
Old patch would have had it.
He would have.
And yeah, BZM going for a Travels and a Blink next. Seems on. Puck has, of course, the Yules and the Witchblade. Good damage and also a save against Sky.
Yuragi ready to jump. And he goes for Fishman. Oh, Coil's going to be off the mark. Not quite catching Stormer. So they can hunt him down here. In fact, Stormer's sticking around. He has got BKB.
He's going to have to maybe TP.
I mean, he's holding it for now. They want to try and keep this fight going. Off to the side, Yuragi jumps in concoction back up towards Toby Amar. He's following up with the arena. Can they stop him from getting the split off? They can. Big damage coming in with the God's Rebuke. Amar takes out Toby. Yuragi wants to try and push for more. He's still holding on to the BKB himself. He's going to go straight for Pure. See if they can take him out with the burst from BZM, but Storm's ready to cover him. He's in with the avalanche onto the tomb. Yuragi gets the BKB off in time, though.
Yeah,
Turn back over towards Fishman. Fishman bought back for this. It's a dieback from him. Yuragi going in for more. Jumps up, gets the catch on Pure.
And the high five before he kills him. He's like, come back here. Yeah, it's looking like Yuragi is just
too popping off.
He's too thick. They can't kill him. And he's going to throw even more into that and go for an Assault Cuirass next, making himself really hard to kill.
Yeah, we saw that this time round. Yuragi, he knew that this was a fight that he could stay a part of and continue to just push. Great catch here from Amar to make sure that they could capitalize on that opening stun on Toby, ensure that there was no presence from the Brew at all in that fight. They stop him from getting the split off.
Yeah, good team play, good chain use of abilities. Zeus just being annoying. With that Force Staff and the jump, Zeus is really hard to catch.
Oh, you can see in the KDA Tiger. As a support, he's only died 2 times this game. Very good at being able to dodge anything that Entity throws away.
Yeah, I mean, most of the kills that have gone on the side of Entity have not been kills yielding too much objectives. A lot of kills have just been that. Isolated kills without a tower, without something else happening.
Yeah, we're seeing a 16k lead. You know, sure, he's an alchemist, but even with that into account, he's a very, very farmed alchemist.
Yeah, and the thing is, alchemist never stops scaling, right? He can keep giving those aghanim's to his teammates, so no matter how early he starts like capping out, that doesn't really feel much better.
And they haven't been able to deal with him at all. 5-0-7, Yuragi untouched this game.
Yeah, now he's ready to go and touch up Entity, perhaps.
There we go. And he's been doing some great concoctions, and they're going to find Toby straight away. Thunder God's Wrath used to scout out the situation, and again, getting the jump on the Brew, eliminating what would be quite an important part of Entity's team fights. Multiple times now, Toby's just not been able to play in these fights.
Yeah, nice hook shot to the creep wave, getting away, but Clockwork still chased.
And look at this dive in from OG. They're ready to go into some tier 2s.
Oh no.
Will be there, but the coil, it's out. Onto the clock, Fishman taken out. Same to be said for Katomi, not standing a chance. 3 dead on Entity, and this time around, Entity not getting anything in return.
Yeah, they're just falling. 3 dead, and that was without Alchemist getting involved. So, all of OG are playing a pretty good game here. It's not just Alchemist getting a lot of farm, but they are really reading the map well, going for good kills.
And now OG's time to take for the Roche.
Yeah, I think with this next Chemical Rage coming up, it'll be pretty fast.
Entity. They're going to TP over here with Fishman. I'm quite sure they'll be able to look for a steal as this is going down fast. He could time it, but no, Amar's already on the case. They've got the ward down. They know the Fishman's looking for this sort of play. He won't be able to get anywhere near the Roshan. As Roshan will fall, they'll put the Aegis over into the hands of BZM. Off to the side. BZM able to jump over him without the Tiger take out Fishman. Yuragi, he's already looking for kills even deeper. He's on top of Toby here. Toby, he's got to pop the split here defensively.
That hurts. Having to use it just to survive and get away. Not a great feeling, especially as he doesn't have the Aghanims yet, so he only has the 1 ulti.
Yeah, 2-minute cooldown here.
Yeah, quite a while. This time that OG can abuse. They have Aegis, they have control of everything.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not too many weaknesses in OG's lineup right now. Passing over the Aegis to the puck as well means that you can't burst him. It's very difficult to burst down a BKB Mars. And Alchemist, I mean, you haven't been able to kill him a single time.
Yeah, Uragi indeed, he didn't need it. He's like, I'm not dying, boys. And hit him with a jump. Concoction's there before the Ancient Steel. They've got the follow-up from Amar, keeping him locked against the walls of the arena. Toby taken out. And in fact, on the high ground as well, that arena getting double the value. Trapping in Kataomi, making sure that OG have to set up for 2 more. And they've really had sort of Toby's number every single time. This Brood getting jumped and completely destroyed.
Yeah, this game, I have to say, I haven't felt the impact really from the Visage. The safe lane Visage, you're expecting it to be a force to do something, but I think he was just way too slow as a hero in this game. He tried to go for drums Aghanims, but we haven't really seen many ganks from him.
No, so they're trying something, as I said, a little bit different from what we usually expect from Entity, and it's just not worked out great here. At least it looks to be so far against OG. OG very well suited to deal with the lineup that Entity's tried to throw at them. 25-13, 24k lead. OG in their element.
Yeah, and they're not looking to give up any space. They're sitting on triangle right now, and as you can see, none of Entity can really get out of their base. They're trying to push mid with Visage. Right now, Desperation Smokes, perhaps. They have 2 on Clockwork, so there's 1 gonna be used. Can they get a connect with this? Hex is up. Full Hex on Visage. Maybe that can chain stun something into killing them, but the Alchemist is not easy to bring down.
Trying to catch them by surprise here with this wraparound from the mid. If this goes wrong, it might be game over. I see Amar, he's ready to respond. He's actually going to find them first. He's in with the BKB arena over to the side. Pure gets jumped. He's out. He's out of the fight. No buyback for him. Down for 70. And you can only imagine that OG now are going to be able to continue the cleanup of this one. Entity trying to scrape themselves back towards the base. But Fishman gets caught. Toby almost dying through the primal split here. We'll be able to turn with a stun, but BCM's jumping in, looking to finish him off. We'll get back over towards the base, and BCM did dive pretty deep for this, but he's got an Aegis. So he'll be back for round 2. Uragi and the team looking to beat into the tier 4s.
Yeah, they're just going for the ends. They know there's nothing that can really stop them. They got shield. They took 1 of the tier 4 towers. Gonna back up there. They're just trying to see if they're gonna tap out, I think.
Coming off to the side. They've actually managed to find Storm outside of the base. They've caught him with the stuns. Ice Spark to follow up. He goes down. No buyback on him. Kataomi will try and throw out a Mystic Flare, but he's going to die for getting too close to the side as OG collapses in upon him inside the base.
Highest amount of net worth at 30 minutes on any hero this DPC tour. Uragi with a 29,800 net worth. Minute 30.
And they're ready to close it. They're going for 1 final smoke here, Entity. But already BCM's in with the jump, catches them with the silence. Fishman will try and hook shot over, but the Ice Buff holds them back. Uragi's ready to pick up more kills, takes down Fishman. The Ancient exposed. OG, they're down for kills. They're down for taking the Ancient, whatever they fancy here, as there's nothing that Entity can do to stop them at this stage. Amar even getting up into the fountain. They're ready to dive in deep. They're going to go straight for it. They take out Pure inside his own fountain. GG is called. OG will take game 2, and with that, the series is cleanly theirs, 2-0. And yeah, this second game, this was not a close one, Wagger.
No.
It very much felt that Entity tried to go for sort of some big brain moves here with the draft, and it just fell flat on its face.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't seen Visage carry for a while. Perhaps there's a reason we haven't seen it, but I think Alchemist was a genius pick here.
Yeah.
Fit really well into their lineup. And the way they played, they created so much space for him while also being able to stack for him. But the positioning of OG, it's like they understood perfectly how to create this safe haven where Alchemist played PvE Dota. And Alchemist is great at PvE. One of the best, actually.
Especially when Uragi's doing it. We saw 6-0-15. You know, a very impressive GPM, of course, 936 on that one. Yeah, all in all, this was, again, you know, OG, in this series, it feels like for the first time in this tour, we're really sort of seeing them back with Misha, finding that same fire as a squad that we saw from them at the Major. This was very, very convincing, this game 2 in particular.
Yeah, very well played by them. They have a really good 2-0 series, and Entity get their first setback of this tour. Still looking strong, but OG were the better team right now.
Absolutely. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Today, OG will be the squad coming out on top as they'll take this series 2-0 against Entity.
Thank you, Odie Pixel and Waga. Indeed, a clean 2-0 for OG. And with that Alchemist overall last pick, was it really going to go anywhere else? I think that we kind of already saw the writing on the wall, Funked.
Yeah, but I had like some belief in Stormstormer being able to maybe control the game with his Tiny, but when he has nobody else really having a game at all, you know, he ends the game, I think, what, 7-1 or something? Stormstormer played, like, actually like a beast,
so
but
hard.
he literally had nothing else. Like, his Vista just shut down. His Brewmaster barely gets any splits off in any of the fights. Clockwork Fishman ends, what, 13 deaths, I think
it was, yeah, 13 deaths. Yeah.
So he didn't have much room to work with. It was just really him going around the world. And like they said at the end there, Alchemist playing PvE for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. They couldn't do anything to shut him down.
No, yeah, I think it was OG just itemized really nicely as well. You got this putt going for the Yules to respect the Skyriff Mage. You've got the quick BKBs, the Satanic on Omar. Like, everyone's itemizing for the... If they run at us as 5, we'll be ready. If we are surprised by this 5-man death ball, or like they're trying to get a death ball going, we're not going to die, or at least we'll turn it around. And yeah, you have this out behind the entire time.
Yeah, I want to go a little bit back more in time in terms of itemization, like triple bracer on Amar and an extra circlet raindrop to be able to sustain the damage, and also Alchemist going for...
Hello, Effie.
Any Patricks or anyone?
Hello, Effie. I don't know if she's on the broadcast, but I would imagine she is. We'll come back to Effie later. She's on the panel early. I mean, it is, to be honest, it is 7:10, so 6. So she's
on time.
She's
it's
on
the voices
time.
in our head. We actually hear nothing. We're going crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, an interview. Are we interviewing Effie?
Yeah, we are of course still waiting for an interview. We're actually hoping to get our hands on Taiga, ask him about his shiny new lights. But to continue more on the game for a little bit more, you were mentioning the braces.
Yeah, I was mentioning the braces on Amar to be able to sustain, and also Alchemist not rushing the Radiance. Instead, he went for Armlet to like speed up and have this momentum, and also to potentially just upset any of the ganks coming out near him. And yeah, OG just